Hey, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? How you doing, Cole?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good. Reading our comments, loving it. Loving the comments right now. Loving it.
Yeah, I saw these comments. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? Because I see a lot of words here that I don't recognize. By the way, chat, can you tell me if you guys are hearing an echo? I got new speakers for my computer. I don't know if that's going to show up on the mic yet or if it's going to get canceled out. So I don't want there to be an echo throughout the whole show. But fun week of nothing really happened, but stuff feels like it's moving around in the background, right? We've talked about a potential Aiyuk trade being in the works. There's all kind of speculation about what the Browns are going to do too. I'm just going to say this right here. Whatever we hear from now on out, it's going to be the dumbest shit possible. So, like, don't go off of any of that. Like, it's my advice. You use your brain and your evaluation to guide you because you're going to hear some goofy shit, right? You're going to hear. Mary Kay wrote an article.
Oh God,
talking about Tyler Shuck being a first round pick, potentially at 2, and that's where I was like, I'm just not going to go on Twitter for a month. Like, I'm good.
Good. You ain't see my tweet. You ain't see my tweet response to that, huh?
No.
I just said I didn't even say that mean. I was just like stating facts. So it's like I saw that, and the first thing I thought about is, of all the general managers in the entire NFL,
you think this dude gonna draft 25-year-old one season ass Tyler?
20. He'll be 26 he'll be 26 at some point when the season starts.
Yeah, come on.
So like, and he's notorious for drafting the youngest players possible in the first 2 rounds.
And people think that's the dude 26 go for.
That 26-year-old? No, it's never happened.
Yeah, he's gonna hitch his wagon to that guy. No. The guy who, correct me if I'm wrong, right? He was at Oregon with Justin Herbert, so I have to imagine Bo Nix beat him out for the job.
So I believe he was Justin Herbert's backup.
Yeah. And then Bo Nix came, took that job, he transferred. Like, yeah. Come on, y'all. Come on. What the fuck we doing?
We just bored, man. Like, this is all it is. We bored. We want to know what they're doing. We bored.
Be bored responsibly. Like, damn.
To be fair,
be responsibly bored. Why we gotta be this irresponsible, drunk ass bored? Like, this is drunk texting levels of bored right now. Like, damn.
To be fair, he did take a top 30 visit, so I do think that means that they have some interest in him, but not at 2. Like,
I mean, they're gonna look at every single quarterback because they need a quarterback, right? Like, and I think they should. But no. That's no.
Day 3, he's a day 3 guy to me, just because one, he's old. I know people say some teams don't care about him being old, and that's fine. But he has the craziest injury history I think I've ever seen.
Here's the thing that's crazy. All of this is like off of a Senior Bowl. Brother, I was at the fucking Senior Bowl. I was talking to this with somebody else who I was at the Senior Bowl with, Trayshawn, and we were both like, it's funny to hear people being like Jackson Dart and Tyler Shuck or Shaw or whatever the fuck his name is, really blew it up at the Senior Bowl. Like, brother, we were both there, and not one time did we look at each other and go, man, look at that kid from Louisville. Right, look at that dude. Look at Jackson Dart slinging it. We were like, they all suck. Okay, like,
hey, can I say something about Jackson Dart?
Yeah,
can I say something about Jackson Dart? The Jackson Dart hype.
You take it back.
Is ridiculous, dog. Like, I was taking this dude in the 3rd, 4th round of the draft in my mocks, and he a first round pick now, and I'm like, how? Like, he's always been a late day 2 guy to me.
There is only a couple of things that can make me feel like this is the case, but given how Drake May did not benefit from that last year, I don't know if that's what's going on right now, because it's the only reason I'm like, well, I mean, is he? Yeah. It's like, what, best white dude available? Like, is that what it is? Right?
Drake May was cold, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was cold.
Down on him, though. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't know if this operates anymore, right? I will say this. Have you ever looked at the history of the New York Giants at quarterback?
Yes, I have. Are we going to talk about it? Do we want to talk about it real quick? We can talk about it.
I think people are assuming Shador is going to go at 3. And I think the Sanders camp is very hopeful that he goes at 3. This is one of the most racist organizations in all of football. No, they have intentionally started a black man at quarterback one time, and the one time they did it, they apologized.
And but to be fair, they signed Jameis.
Sure.
Which to me is like, hey, if you sign Jameis, you sign Jameis
because they had a chance to get Dwayne Haskins. Everybody expected them to draft Dwayne Haskins. What they do? They took Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones.
Yes. And look, Jameis is, how do I put this? You could get folk comfortable about Jameis because you can't take Jameis seriously, right? Like, that's not somebody who's ever presented to be taken seriously.
So if they sign Russ, does that change how you feel? Does that change the math for you?
There's a whole conversation with Russ that we just ain't gonna be able to have on the internet that pertains to that specific conversation because how Russ has been marketed for his entire career, which gets into messy territories that I don't need to be speaking to the internet about. But I would say, like, Shador would be a great departure from the kind of quarterbacks the Giants have intentionally started before. Not saying it's impossible, but just saying that thing is still there. I know, like, since it's been a while since this has really been a factor because a lot of teams have gotten over this, at least with young quarterbacks. But yeah, that's not one of them teams that have done that. Now, to be fair, there was one organization that was more racist than the Giants, albeit they sold recently, which was the Washington Commanders. But they got new ownership.
Yeah, but they got new ownership, so that's different.
Yeah. Now, the Washington Commanders, they got down with the crazy racism. Both their owners, Dan Snyder and the dude who owned them before. Do you know about that?
I don't remember. I don't know so much about dude.
The Washington Commanders were the last team to integrate in the NFL. And it was purposeful. It was intentional, Cole. They didn't do this shit by accident. It wasn't like, oh, the league integrated in 65 and 45 and they integrated in 46. It was a gap. It was a long gap before they decided to do that. So, yeah, I just don't know if that's the team, that ownership group that's owned that team for all that time is the one that's going to look at Shador and be like, this is how we going to roll. I could be wrong. Maybe they feel that way.
You saying they gonna take Jackson Dart at 3? That's what you saying? I wouldn't
be surprised if Jackson Dart pops up. Like, if there is a team that would surprise us like that, it would be the team that has literally surprised us like that before. Because when was the last time you were as shocked as you would be if Jackson Dart went that high? It's when Daniel Jones went that high.
Yeah, because nobody saw that coming.
Nobody saw that coming, right? Even the people who saw it coming was like, I don't know if that should happen. Right? Like,
I don't know if that one should happen.
All I'm saying, Jackson Dart went to Ole Miss. All I'm saying is the whole excuse for Daniel Jones was that he was in the Manning camp. Right? So you could draw that straight line to Eli Manning, who was a Ole Miss grad. I'm just saying, the Giants are an irrational franchise. They have demonstrated this before. And yeah, I just don't know where Shador is going to go in this draft, because if he falls past 3, it could be a long time for him.
I think there's only so far he could go, but it just depends.
What do you think the furthest he's going to drop?
Thinking of teams that need quarterbacks but aren't picking super high. Where did the Saints pick?
Saints pick at like 9 or something like that. They're in the top 10.
You think Are you in the top 10? I gotta look at the draft order. Let me see really quick. Let me see.
I don't think the Saints would do it.
They need a quarterback.
They still paying Derek Carr.
That's what I'm saying. They need like a solution.
But I think they're in the position where they can wait a year.
They could wait a year if they really wanted to.
And if I could wait a year, I would.
Okay, so let's see. So teams that obviously need quarterbacks. Tennessee at 1, but they're Cam. Maybe not. Maybe they're trying to trade the pick, but it feels like Cam's going first no matter what.
Then they have the documentary team at Cam Ward's pro day.
Yeah, because like they had a report today that was like it would take a really great offer for them to trade the pick, which can be perceived as why you still trying to trade the pick if that's what you're taking at 1. But I also feel like if the offer's increased now, you probably stay in there because if teams didn't trade up before the price went up, I don't think they're gonna trade up now that the price has gone up.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's pulling the trigger on trade. If that would have happened, if somebody was going to do it, they would have did it before free agency.
Yeah, they would have done it already. So I feel like they are taking Cam Ward. Like they're stuck there. They're going to take Cam.
Yeah, so, either they take Cam Ward, or they do something fucking wild. Like this is the Anthony Bennett spot too. Like the Giants are the prime Anthony Bennett candidates. Where I'm like, you might just draft somebody. You're like, well, we would have took him if we would have traded back at 7 because that's who you wanted, right?
I mean, it's completely up to them how they want to handle it. But hey, if you don't take Cam at 1, he's definitely going 2. So
I'm not convinced.
At Q, if he's there when the Browns pick, if he's there with the Browns pick, the Browns are taking him.
I'm not convinced. Maybe it's just me. I don't think he's better than Shador, and I'm not convinced Shador is going to go in the top 5. I find it hard to believe that they would feel like they have to take him there, but. Because this dude has all the problems that they hated with Baker Mayfield and with Deshaun Watson. How are they going to look at that and be like, yeah, that's the guy for us? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. Maybe they love Cam Ward's talent and feel like they can fix everything else. But this motherfucker is 23 years old by the time he starts his first game in the NFL. And I just want you to know, by the time Jameis was 23, we had given up on him changing anything. Right? Or, that was when Josh Allen turned the corner, right? 23. Like, usually you are who you are at 23, and the game management stuff is really bad for him. Like, I find it hard to believe that they would want to do that. That they would, the super young front office, right? The front office that loves these young prospects for these reasons would draft a quarterback who's going to be 23 by the time he starts and is not as polished as like a Jaden Daniels, right? Like where you see, don't think you have to fix all of these things with him. That's my thing with it. Is like, it just doesn't make sense. Like I know what people are saying and what we're hearing, but it just, to me, I can't make that part make sense to me. Is the player just does not feel like a good fit for the Browns. And I don't think you got to do it because, like, I don't think Cam Ward's good. Like, I would take, like, a bunch of different players over Cam Ward in this draft. So, we'll see.
I mean, everybody who watches this podcast or follows us on social media, they know where we stand on who they should take.
Yeah.
The top of the draft. Like, everybody knows where we're at. Not saying that that's what they're definitely going to do, but y'all know how we feel. I don't know if Curtis is in here.
Curtis in here.
Curtis in here?
Yeah, man, Curtis big Abdul Carter.
Curtis, come on the screen, man. Where you at?
Hey, look, Curtis make me look like a Cam Ward apologist.
Wait, what do I? Wait, what was that for? What was that for?
You know what that's for. You know you can't stand Cam.
You say Cam Ward there, Curtis.
That's not it at all.
You hear Curtis's brow get tight. I'm like, oh, he back. Did you just say Cam Ward?
That's not it at all. It's just I'm not high on him like everyone else is. That's it. I mean, I watch the tape, I rock with it, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to go through that experience again.
I feel like people should have to like watch these Cam Ward games live to really get an understanding of how bad he is in situational football for a man who's old as he is. Because like when you're watching tape, that shit can slip by, right? Because you're trying to pay attention to the function and how the play breaks down and what the decision-making process, you're paying attention to the process. But like, there are often times where I look at Cam Ward's tape, I'm like, wait a minute, what fucking down was that? What was the score? Oh hell no, dog. I would destroy. I would be so mad if that happened in the process of a game. And I remember watching Cam Ward live during the year, being like, "This dude makes awful decisions during important times of the game. Like awful decisions. Sometimes he bails himself out, but very often he makes some of the more head scratching, like that interception he threw versus Duke.
Yeah, that annoyed me the most because I had to rewind it. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck are you doing? And so I like rewatched like twice.
And you throw that?
Exactly. Like I rewatched. I'm like, why? What is the thought process going around here? And everyone says like he's perfect and everything. I'm like, I think Corey tweeted it out, and I had the same sentiment. I'm like, he's a little bit more closer to a project than people want to admit. I'm like, could he start right away? Sure, but I wouldn't have like confidence he lights the world on fire. I could be wrong though, but who knows?
I don't think his upside is as high as people think it is too. Like that's my thing with it. People see the arm talent, but it's like it's good. It's great arm talent for this class because this class doesn't have much arm talent in it. But I don't think his arm is more live than like Derek Carr's was coming out of college. Like at Fresno State, you watch how Derek Carr used to whip it around. Like it's not going to put him in that upper echelon of arm talent in the NFL. And I think what you have with Cam Ward is somebody who very likely, if things work out for him, will be Jay Cutler. Like, are the parallels not there? Gonna have interceptions, horrible game management skills. Gonna have some good ass plays though, some cool shit. He gonna do some cool shit, but it's gonna be Jay Cutler. Like, you're gonna always be limited because you have this dude at quarterback. Not because he's not good enough to make plays, but because he makes crazy plays sometimes. He's just not sustainable for a winning football team. Like, if you're looking for a quarterback that could give you a floor, this ain't the dude. This is not the dude who's going to give you the floor. Absolutely not. And that's what a lot of the argument is for drafting a quarterback at 2, right? It's going to give us a floor. We need a quarterback. You can't win in the NFL. It's code for quarterback gives us floor. This is not the type of quarterback that gives you a floor. Like maybe he gets on a hot season and you go on a run. That definitely can happen with Cam. But floor? Oh, you can lose. You can win 4 games with Cam Ward, even if he's a good NFL quarterback. Like, absolutely possible, right? Like, he is definitely not going to give you a floor. That's my hot take, I guess, on Cam Ward. Some people say Cam Mayfield. I think Baker Mayfield is the best possible version of what he could be. Baker got a better arm than him.
He could be Cam Wilson, like Zach Wilson, with more swag to it.
Listen, yeah, I've been waiting for you to say that. I've been waiting for you to say that, Curtis, because I know that's your take. I know that's your take.
Tell me if I'm wrong.
Curtis, to be fair, Curtis been on that shit since October.
Bro, he been on it from the very beginning, bro.
I will stay on it.
He been on it from the very beginning. He was like, "Hey, listen, this is Black Zach Wilson." That's like Black Wilson. It's Black Wilson. That's what it is.
Black Wilson like, with the swag to it.
No, it's Black Wilson BLACC. You know what I mean? It got a little sauce on it.
Anyway.
Like, you all do me like that. That's how we going. That's how we started off today's show. That's how we gonna do it.
Anyway,
Cole love to hit it anyway.
Hey Curtis, so it's safe to say that you are team don't take a QB at 2.
Yes, I've been don't take a QB since December, and all these people on Twitter want to say, "Oh man, we gotta take a swing. We gotta try." I'm like, okay, take a swing. Fuck around and find out. Because if we do take a swing and it's on Shadur and we end up winning either 6 or 7 games and the offense is average, but the quarterback is average, I'm like, okay, all right, fine. We got our quarterback. Are we going to win something with him? Are we going to go to the heights that you think that he can take us to?
Can we address this conversation too that is had often with it, where it's like, well, we had Myles Garrett last year and we won 3 games. And it's like,
you sound like that.
That's how these people sound to me. Okay.
Hey, Q love to make a voice, bro.
That's how they sound to me, dog. I just be reading through like, okay.
No, he sounds like a character from the Muppets, bro. Why does he sound like that?
Hey, don't ever let him
Muppet
quote.
reboot. I'm there. I'm trying to get a job. You know.
Don't ever let him quote Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, no. I'm like that. You know. One day I'm gonna meet Pat Mahomes.
I hope you don't. I really hope you don't. Because you're gonna make that voice. I'll be like, yo, come on, man.
What's up, man? What the fuck? But like, can we address that argument? Like, oh, we had Myles Garrett on the team. We only won 3 games. Therefore, drafting an edge is not going to change the status quo of the Cleveland Browns. I would like to point out to those people, the Browns have been significantly better with Myles Garrett than they were without him. They've won more playoff games with Myles Garrett than they did without him since '99. And they've won more games with Myles Garrett. So like, he's clearly, once he's hit his peak, it clearly made a difference for the team, right? Like, we've been able to win 11 games twice. We didn't do that in the whole 20 years that we didn't have somebody the caliber of Myles Garrett.
Can I also point out for the people who make that argument, well, they also had the worst quarterback play in the entire NFL, which is the biggest reason that they won 3 games.
You bring up an excellent point, Colb, right? Because I was thinking about this. I did a video on this earlier this week, or I think last week, actually. And I was like, man, how bad was the offense last year, right? The Browns offense. Historically bad, right? And we're thinking that we need to get this like crazy fix to the Browns offense. I think all you need to do is just get mediocre quarterback play in there. You'd be significantly better.
Yeah. I think TA put out a tweet about, I think he put out recently, he was talking about like how they shouldn't go after Abdul Carter. I'll read it. I've really tried to avoid these Twitter draft wars the last few weeks because it typically goes nowhere, and I probably will regret this, but the Browns finished 1st in pressure rate last year, 5th in pressure rate without blitzing, and 9th in quick pressure rate overall. Yet taking an undersized Abdul Carter at 2 makes sense when you have the shittiest offense in the NFL, 32nd in EPA in 2024, 28th in 2023, the last 2 years. Any moderate, decent edge across from Myles, and you can certainly be perfectly fine. I said 2 months ago that using another top pick on an edge just seems like overkill with Myles, and the effect just isn't the same. I just don't get it. But I have pushback for that because I've watched the tape back of the D-line this past year. It's not as dominant as people think. I think the edge room is okay, and if I'm looking at it this year, it's like it's still okay because people were gassing up the Troyan Shoyinka signing. I'm like, he's a rotational pass rusher. He's not great.
And I would add this point too, because I think sometimes the people who get too into the numbers don't really understand why that could be a problem, right? And I think Cleve TA, he's demonstrated this before, because I remember getting into it with him about the Will Anderson trade, right? I was like, that's a good idea, what they did with Will Anderson. He was like, it's not going to work out. It's an awful pick. It's an awful trade. All this stuff ended up being a great trade for the Texans here. But here's the thing that's missing. Browns defense might have been fine last year. The problem was not that they didn't score, that the defense didn't matter, was that they scored such a low amount of points because they had some of the worst quarterback play. Let me bring up these stats here. With the Browns offense last year scored 258 points total. Well, the Browns as a team scored about 258 points total. That was the lowest number in the NFL. If we account for and then average out for 17 games, the games where Watson and DTR played, you guess how low that number is?
How low?
223 points in the season over 17 games, right? Which is about 13 points a game. So that's how bad the Browns offense was with Jameis Winston and Bailey Zapp, who are certified mediocre to below mediocre quarterbacks. We could all agree on that, right? They put up on a 17-game average about 298 points. which is 17.5, right, per game. Kirk Cousins last year averaged about 20 points a game with the Falcons, or at least the Falcons offense per 17 games, or Falcons as a team scored about 20 points with Kirk out there. Russ's numbers are a bit bigger. He was about 24 points out there with the Steelers. That ranked about 13th, but just the difference between going from where you were last year to 24th with Kirk Cousins 20 points a game. That is an 80-point difference. That is enough points to flip 7 of the Browns' losses into wins last year. And they'd be 10-win team. Like, this is what I'm saying has been the case with quarterback. Like, if you make the defense better, you make the life of your team a lot easier, right? Like, obviously that helps the quarterback, but also we don't need a savior at quarterback just to win games. We just need them to be better than DTR and fucking Deshaun Watson, which was not hard to achieve because Bailey Zapp and Jameis Winston achieved better, much significantly better numbers than they were last year. Like, the numbers bear out. You probably would have went 500 if you just started Jameis all the games last year, right? That is how low the bar is for quarterback play for the Cleveland Browns. And I don't think the best way to answer that bar or raise that bar is to draft the quarterback this year when you don't think that these guys are going to be anybody who are going to be able to sustain a level of play that gives you a legitimate floor as a football team. But you know what does give you a legitimate floor as a football team? A defense that has Abdul Carter and Myles Garrett. If Abdul Carter becomes who Abdul Carter is, right? Or if you get Travis Hunter and Travis Hunter ends up being on both sides of the ball, what people think he could be on both sides of the ball. Like, those 2 picks can give you a floor. Shedeur Sanders, if your team's good enough to win 10 games, he's going to win 10 games. Best case scenario with Shedeur. If your team's not good enough to win 10 games, you're probably not going to win 10 games, right? Not an elevator, not a floor raiser, not a floor lower. Same thing could be said with Cam Ward. I think to a much larger extent, because I think Cam can fuck some shit up, right? Like, I think Cam has more potential to make you worse than Shedeur does. It's not that difficult, right? Like, I don't understand why people just rush to there only being one solution for this problem, or if you don't want to draft the answer to this problem at number 2, it's like they're acting like you don't want to address the problem entirely. They're like, oh, you just want to have the NFL's lowest scoring offense next year. Oh, no, I want them to trade for Brandon Aiyuk. Like, I want them to get a quarterback. Like, I want them to do more things, right? But just because they don't do what you wanted to does not mean that they're not going to address other things. Right? In the same way, like, I don't act like, oh, the Browns defense is going to fall to shit if you don't draft Abdul Carter at 2, right? Because I assume they're going to do other things to the defense. But boy, when you flip those roles and you ask somebody who wants to draft the quarterback, they act like the offense is never going to be addressed if you don't spend a number 2 pick on it. And if you don't specifically spend a number 2 pick on whatever quarterback it is that they like. And this is just not a great year to get a quarterback. It's not 2022 all the way, but it ain't that different.
It's just this quarterback class is not strong. I've been trying to tell people that.
But we hyping up Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart does not enter a first-round conversation in a good draft class for quarterback or not a strong draft class for quarterback. This shit only happens when it's certified mid across the board.
Like, the fact that Jackson Dart, where would Jackson Dart go last year?
5th round, 4th round, like somewhere in that range.
Like, he's not going in the first round. He's not going in the first round.
We're not even thinking about Jackson Dart.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who else? Like, I don't even think, like, Cam's probably he probably goes before, maybe he goes before Penix. Maybe.
Nah, I don't think he goes before Penix.
Like, maybe he goes before Bo.
Penix had similar issues to him, but Penix was a little bit more accurate. That's another thing with Cam Ward. He's on Corey's chart, he's the 3rd or 2nd least accurate quarterback on that chart.
Something like that.
Yeah, like 61% weighted on target percentage.
Something like that.
Which is like
Something like
3 points above what Jalen Milroe did. If we're talking about Jalen Milroe has to overhaul everything as a passer to be in the NFL. And this is the dude that we're like, oh yeah, he's gonna step in, no problem. 23 years old. I don't know about that. Like again, the guy that people compare it to is Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels had like the highest number, like a 78 or some shit like that on Corey's chart last year.
Yeah, he said he's the most accurate passer he ever charted. He's charted so far.
Yeah, and he charted CJ Stroud too, right? Who was pretty accurate as well. I think at like a 75% clip. Like it's not a good year to get a quarterback. We refuse to accept this every year. It's the case. Every single year it's the case. We as a NFL community refuse to accept this. But we know it's true because every year don't got franchise quarterbacks in them draft class. But we refuse to accept it. And this is what's going on. We're refusing to accept it. I can see how somebody could talk themselves into Cam Ward, especially if they're a new front office. We're just going to build this whole thing around Cam. We got no identity. Cool. But I don't know, man. It's a shit year to get a quarterback. I think we've known this for months. It's coming clearer and clearer the further away from football we get. But yet people are still clinging on to this. And it's like people's opinions of these quarterbacks have actually inflated during this period, which I think is ridiculous because what have we seen?
Look, man, this is what I'm going to say. This is what I'm going to say. And I'm not going to tell you what I heard because I don't want to put that on. I don't want to put that on out on the internet for it to come by me later. Curtis knows what I'm talking about. But I will say this. Yeah. He's making a face. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I really don't think the Browns are going to take quarterback, man. Unless they trade up for Cam, but I don't see them doing that either. Like they're not going to take a quarterback this year. They're probably, no offense to TA, they're probably going to take. Probably might actually take Abdul Carter. Like it's kind of feeling like they're going to take Abdul Carter. Maybe they take Travis Hunter, and I'm fine with that too.
Yeah, I think we're just demonstrating a lack of imagination with Travis Hunter, or I think people just bold thinking is not happening with Travis Hunter because people are throwing him into like this same lazy box. They're like with Jabril Peppers or like other two-way guys. And I'm like, Travis Hunter is more productive on the offensive side of the ball than all of those two-way players combined. I'm not even joking. Like, this is research I'm putting into a video I'm releasing, I think, Friday, or maybe I might do it Monday. Chris Gamble, right? Like Chris Gamble, Charles Woodson, Miles Jack, Jabril Peppers. Those are the 4 two-way players you think of, right? When you think of two-way players. Like, that's a good list, right? Chris Gamble, whole college career, 645 yards, 1 touchdown. Receiving and rushing. Charles Woodson, again, one of the guys we think of. He was a great two-way player in college, right? 537 yards in his entire college football career. It's 3 seasons, 5 touchdowns. Receiving and rushing yards combined, 537 of them, right? Miles Jack, another guy, right? 395 yards rushing and receiving in UCLA in 3 seasons, 11 touchdowns. He was a goal line guy there. Jabril Peppers, this one's the most hilarious one, right? Because I've seen people actually comp him to Jabril Peppers. I think that's ridiculous. 3 seasons, 27 games at Michigan. Jabril Peppers had 321 yards of offense, 5 touchdowns. Travis Hunter in 22 games at Colorado. We're not even counting the Jackson State stuff. 22 games at Colorado. 1,984 yards and 21 touchdowns.
Last year, I believe he had 1,251 yards, 15 touchdowns, something like that.
No, he had about 700, but he got hurt.
What, last year, like this past year at Colorado?
First year at Colorado. Last year, he had about 1,200. Yeah. Let me finish here. Travis Hunter, 1,987 yards, 84 yards. All those famous two-way players combined, 1,907 yards. These are not the same, okay? Like, we cannot treat him like you would treat all these other dudes because he's not. Travis won the Biletnikoff. He won Defensive College Player of the Year. He won Most Outstanding Player. He won the Heisman, and he was a unanimous All-American on both sides of the ball. And people are like, well, maybe he could be a gimmick on the offensive side of the ball. And I'm like, hey, bro, I think we're just not striving to be bold here. Like, I think we're just like, oh, well, what's been done before? Let's make Travis do that. And I'm like, nah, man. Also, another thing to note, because I was thinking about it. Why did Andrew Berry call him a wide receiver? Right? Most of Travis Hunter's snaps in college were on the wide receiver side, especially last year. Mm-hmm. So he was primarily a wide receiver. And if you play him both ways in the NFL, you're likely going to give him about 600 snaps on offense just to not be predictable, right? You want to have him out there blocking every once in a while. He really only needs about 550 snaps to get about 100 targets and get about 1,100 yards. That's what Ladd McConkey had, right? Defensively, you play him about 500 snaps. Two-way player. Greg Newsome gets 500 snaps for the Browns in coverage, right? Like, that is a pretty normal amount of snaps to get there. The Browns have the secondary depth to be able to live with, like, okay, he plays 500 snaps. We could flex around guys, have Martin Emerson in there on rundowns, run out Travis there on passing downs. Pretty easy rotation to do. And then wide receiver wise, it's like, okay, well, most of the time if you're going to run the ball, you're just not going to have Travis out there, but you're still going to have him out there on like some run plays just to make sure you're not predictable. But you don't really got to do that much to not be predictable there. And honestly, don't really matter if you're super predictable on the run game side because it's more about just winning. But that's a whole nother debate for a whole nother day because you can know what's happening. If you win, you win. But yeah. There's a lack of imagination going on with Travis, and people are like, whenever I see somebody tweet like, well, he's going to be a package player on offense. I'm like, this dude is not a package player on offense. He is a offensive threat on both. He's a threat on both sides of the ball. You just got to let him do it. And if he plays 1,000 snaps, is it crazy for a defensive back to get 1,000 snaps during the season? Sure. I think defensive backs average about 800 snaps. Wide receivers average about 800 snaps. But 1,000 snaps, that's not even going to lead the team in snaps if he gets it, right? If you run him out there 1,000 or 1,100 times, if you have an offensive lineman that plays the whole year, they're probably going to out-snap Travis Hunter. So it can be done. Right. If a big ass 6'6", 300-pound man who has to fucking arm wrestle another 300-pound 6'6" man on every snap can play 1,100 snaps, 1,200 snaps, what is stopping Travis Hunter from doing the same thing at a much less physically inclined position? And people are stuck in that box. And I'm like, I hope he doesn't go to a team that's stuck in that box with them because I'm like, they're going to miss out. Like, I think you can do it. I think it's feasible. And I think Andrew Berry saying they see him primarily as wide receivers is kind of a tip-off that they would play him on both sides. And if you see him as a two-way player, I like Abdul as much as the next guy, but I'm not going to sit here and be mad at it. Like, if you take Travis.
That's been my entire point about this entire draft process. Hey, bro, look, as long as they leave the draft
with one of them,
one of Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter, I'm happy.
Because imagine if Travis Hunter gets 3 interceptions and like 1,100 receiving yards.
Like, that's worth the number 2. That's worth the number 2. It's honestly worth the number 1 pick.
He's rookie of the year and he's making the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, man. He's probably an all-pro team. He's probably an all-pro, to be completely honest.
Yeah, like that. We will be talking. That would be the most amazing. That's just like, it's possible. It's certainly possible. Like, is he a better wide receiving prospect than Ladd McConkey? I think so.
Yeah, he probably is.
Yeah, like similar size. Ladd's 6 foot, 185.
And Ladd's good. He should have been a first-round pick.
Hey, look, Travis, similar traits, right? When you watch him at Colorado, always there when he needs to, right? Great IQ, helps your quarterback out. Like, I think people have, I don't know if people are overthinking it or underthinking it. I don't know what the proper term is for where people are with Travis.
They're overthinking it. You know why they're overthinking it? They're overthinking it because Abdul is the easiest fit in the world.
Now, Abdul doesn't require bold thinking, even though
No.
he doesn't. He's not like absent of it. I think we're seeing that because again, a lot of people just can't wrap their mind around a guy who's not 6'6", 270 being really good at edge, but that
which is insane because we're Browns fans and we play the Pittsburgh Steelers 2 times every year, and you see TJ Watt do it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, you could have said Cam Hayward was undersized coming out too, right? Like, I think he's only like 6'2" or 6'1" or something like that, coming out of Ohio State at like 290, right? Like, it's one of those things where like people, and this tends to happen with more of the spreadsheet folk. And no disrespect to them, they do good work, right? But there's some limitations to it. There's something to that motherfucker can ball. Okay,
like even TA saying Abdul Carter's undersized. I'm like, he's not undersized.
Yeah, he's not. Like
he's not
part of being undersized is you can be. I've seen players who are 6'6" and like 250, 260, but when you watch them on tape, they play undersized, right? Because they don't play big. Abdul Carter doesn't have that problem. He can convert speed to power, and even if he's small, he can bend, right? So he's just a hard target to hit, and he's super quick. So it's not a problem for him. He's been able to hold up against 330-pounders. Like, I think the only area where his lack of size, his brute size, is going to hurt him is probably in the run game, right? I think he's going to have a rough year, his rookie year in the run game for sure. But I think he's a smart enough player to be able to adjust to that because he did that at Penn State halfway through the season where he figured out, okay, I can't just brutalize people to be a run fit, but there are ways that I can find myself in the right position to be a run fit. Like, it's just going to have to look different for Abdul, but different is not bad when you're as talented as Abdul Carter, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, is it different? Sure. Is it bad? Watch the tape. It's certainly not. It's the only time I saw somebody stop him was when Josh Connerly was holding the shit out of him in the Big Ten championship game. Like, just basically choking him, right? Like, putting him in the sleeper hold. That's the only time I saw somebody do something with him. And even then, Abdul got the better of him by the end of that game.
Yeah, this is the thing about him being undersized. And I just I feel like I've done this on the pod already, but I just want to reiterate this because it's just not true. Like, it's one of those things that's just not, it's one of those things, it's not true. Like, I don't care how many times people say it, it's not true. Like, let me see if I can find it. Oh, yeah, okay. So Abdul Carter's undersized. He is, at the time when I wrote this, he was 6'3", 251.
Mm-hmm.
He went to the combine. I think he's 6'2" and like 6'2" and some change.
Did he measure at the combine?
I think he did because he was like 6'2" and some change. I think he was like 248 or 249 or something like that. So a little bit, so less of an inch shorter, and then like 2 pounds lighter, 2 or 3 pounds lighter than when he was listed, right? Still 248 pounds, 6'2", 6'3", somewhere in there.
They got him on the NFL website, 6'3", 250.
Okay, so let's just leave it there, 6'3", 250. Will Anderson Jr. is 6'4", 243 pounds.
And the weight, can I point out one thing that drives me crazy about how people like determine undersize? Weight is what makes you undersize, not height as much, right? Like, this height, certain positions, height matters a little bit, right? If we're talking about length with tackles, like if you're a 6-foot tackle, you're undersized. I don't care how much you weigh, right? But he's not lacking length, right? Like, he's 6'2", 6'3". His arms are pretty long, right? I think 33-inch arms. So he's not undersized there. Like, is he tall? No, he's not super tall like Myles Garrett is super tall. But weight matters there, right? If we want to call him undersized, it's like, well, if he can get to 260 pretty easily. If he's squatting, I think last I've heard, he's at like at least a 500-pound squat, working his way to a 600-pound squat. Like Shannon Sharp, his big ass, well, not big ass, but he was short but not undersized his whole NFL career, right? He was able to get up like 265, I think he said on a podcast. Like, It's the strength, right? Like when you have, this is why you have to watch a player play before you determine if they're undersized or not. You have to see if it actually shows up on tape, because if they're strong enough to play, then they're not undersized, right? They are properly sized. They can play the position. If it's not a problem for them, they're not undersized. It's like the whole conversation that we have with Jared Allen. People point out Jared Allen's 7 foot. But I'm like, he's still a bit undersized because like when he goes up against what's the boy y'all traded from the Lakers to the Clippers?
Zubac.
Yeah, you must have had to deal with that trade for a while because that came up too quick. Zubac, right? Like
still hurts.
Jared Allen was going up against Zubac, and I'm like, Jared's undersized, right? Because Jared is clearly giving up like 20 pounds.
Working him. Zoo was working on that game, bro.
I was like, is that Jokic?
You know what was funny though? I was like, bro, even Jokic ain't even doing this bad.
Zubac is gonna be more inclined to just get buckets than Jokic is, because Jokic is gonna be like, okay, I know I can get 40, but like I got facilitate. Like Jokic is choosing only to get 27 on you, right? Zubac was like, I'm getting 27. Okay.
I think he had more than that. I think he had like 30 something.
It was like a 20 something double. It was nasty work.
I was like, man, I ain't see the Cavs bigs get work like that all year.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, man, I'm glad nobody has a big like that in the East. Because that would be a problem, because Jared Allen is undersized despite being 7 foot tall, right? Like the weight there. Same thing with Evan Mobley, right? The weight is the issue. It's not the height. He's tall. He's not big. Even though Evan's getting up there, and like to Evan's credit, dog, whenever these big dudes try to get at Evan, he be holding up more than you would think. He will hold up. He got that wiry strength in him. Because I think, who was it the next night to try? It was he's another draft bust. Andrea Bargnani. Was it Bargnani? Am I tripping? No, not Bargnani. That's way too bad. I'm thinking of the other Toronto dude. Jonas Valanciunas. Yeah. Jonas tried to put that shoulder in Evan, and Evan was able to stand him up a little bit. So Evan must got good feet to be able to like give ground slowly or something like that. But anyways, I digress. It's the weight that matters a ton. The weight is not an issue for him. The ability to pick up weight is not an issue for him. He's very strong in his base. Like, you have to show me a good clip of play, like not just one or two, because there's a couple plays where he gets knocked on his ass, mainly in run defense, because like a guard pulls and smacks him. But that happens to a lot of dudes, even in the league, right? Like it happens to Alex Highsmith all the time. Nobody says he can't play edge in the NFL, right? So yeah, is that gonna happen to him? Sure. But you got Myles Garrett. So, like, what are the odds that somebody's going to design something to take advantage of Abdul Carter's weakness, one? And two, he's a good enough player and has demonstrated throughout his career that he can get better, that I don't really have to worry about him figuring that out. Like,
I just want to keep reading. So, if you think Abdul Carter's undersized, you think Will Anderson Jr. is undersized. You think TJ Watt is
240?
He's 243.
That's actually undersized. Like,
so you think he's
light. That's like Barkevious Mingo was like 239, 240, right? Like that's undersized.
So he would be undersized. He had 11 sacks last year. Obviously, he's beating the dog shit out of everybody.
Wait. But was it in a 4-3?
So you think TJ Watt is undersized? Because he's 6'4", he's 252. So he's undersized. Right?
Yeah.
So he would have to be undersized. Who else is undersized? Micah Parsons has to be undersized. He's 6'3", 245.
And here's also another thing. So what if he's undersized? Like, Ray Lewis was undersized. Some dudes, it don't matter if they got that extra inch. Like, do you really have to be, like, we're treating this like a threshold when the player that we're seeing, we have seen obviously be great, right? Like, that is the thing. There are two players in this draft class we have watched during the college football go, that motherfucker is great. Okay.
Abdul and Travis.
3 players, my bad. 3 players. Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter,
Mason Graham.
Oh, Mason Graham too. Mason Graham. We throw Mason Graham in there too. There are 4 players in this draft we have felt that way about.
They call him Mason Graham. They trying to call Mason Graham undersized too.
Yeah, man. Some dudes are technically undersized. So I think that's what TA will fall back on is if you take out the percentile and the average, and this is technically undersized. I don't give a fuck. He's Abdul Carter, right? He's an outlier to whatever conversation we're having because most dudes who are 6'3", 250 pounds cannot bend like Abdul, are not fast like Abdul, are not as athletic as Abdul, have not demonstrated to have the violent hands that Abdul has at his size. Shout out to the boot man who found that out, that Abdul got violent hands. Okay, heavy. They said he didn't let him up. Okay. Hey, persistence didn't quit on the play, right? But in all seriousness, this is where we get caught up. We're trying to use averages for the number 2 pick in the draft. Brother, this dude's gonna be an outlier. like you hope that this dude is an outlier, right? But this is my problem when people trash the idea of taking a running back like Ashton Jeanty early, right? It's like, this guy's an outlier. I don't give a fuck about what your charts and averages have to say. This guy could probably be a significant outlier where you're like, oh, well, this guy doesn't count. He's an outlier. Ashton Jeanty is a significant statistical outlier at his position. Mason Graham, not as big as an outlier, but still an outlier at his position. Travis Hunter is one of the biggest outliers at doing what he's done ever. Like, we just brought that up. Okay, like he is like, did you realize how much of an outlier he was to that conversation?
I didn't until you really started breaking it down. Like,
yeah,
damn.
It's like the dot for them is there, and then Travis Hunter is all the way there. He is the most giant outlier in his conversation we've had. And Abdul Carter is an outlier in 6'3", 250-pound edges. Like, yeah, sure. The extra inch. If he was 6'4". He wouldn't be undersized anymore, right? But he doesn't have the extra inch. But guess what? His numbers hold up to what Myles Garrett's pass rush win rate was in college. They hold up to what Von Miller's pass rush win rate was in college. And that matters more than if he's tall. We don't draft dudes off the fucking physical sheet. Like, what are we doing?
Also, I would like to point out that Abdul Carter had all those sacks, all those pass rush numbers that are comparable to guys in the league who are great pass rushers, and that was his first year playing edge full time. First year doing it
in the best conference in college football.
Best conference in college football, whooping everybody ass.
Plus playoff games.
Dominating playoff games with one working arm.
With Darth Vader on his nose. You talk about aura. Right.
Oh God! Don't start bringing aura into this conversation. I ain't trying to hear it. I ain't trying to hear it. I'm not trying to hear that bullshit.
Bro, the aura goes crazy. I don't even know how they use that shit. But
talking about some goddamn aura. But like, dog, listen to this, and this is the funniest thing. And I included the sacks that they got in the list because I want people to understand how ridiculous it is. Like, Will Anderson, 11 sacks. He is lighter than Abdul Carter. Max Crosby.
If Abdul can't be out there on rundowns, Will Anderson most definitely can't be out there on rundowns.
You see what I'm saying?
Will Anderson finds a way. Right? Like, hey, what did we say about Will Anderson when he came out? Well, that's the best edge I've seen in college football this year. So, like, by a significant margin, so he might be really good. Like,
everybody says, like, yeah, that's the best edge. That's the best edge. Nobody questioned it. Just like nobody questions Abdul was the best edge coming out. Like, nobody questions it.
And this is stronger. Well, I got to remember what Will Anderson's edge class was. That was 2022. I believe this is a much stronger edge class than 2022 was.
There's gonna be a bunch of edges that go in the first round.
Because maybe this is a hot take, but I would have, if Abdul Carter and Will Anderson were in the same draft class, I would have Abdul Carter ranked ahead of him.
Ooh.
Maybe it's a hot take. I would have him ranked ahead of, I don't know. Hutch is a toss-up.
No, not Hutch. Not Hutch for me.
Hutch is a toss-up for me because Hutch got I don't know. He's more toolsy than Hutch, though.
Let me see.
He's way more toolsy than Hutch.
I don't know. I'm not with you with Hutch. I think I'm off that one. You might be alone. You might be alone with Hutch.
Well,
Bro, Hutch 6'7"?
Yeah, Hutch tall as shit though. Like that's what Hutch would go first because Hutch, I think, but his athletics weren't great or something. I don't know why he didn't go number 1 that year.
Because Trayvon Walker went number 1.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't go number 1 that year.
Yeah, Hutch 6'7", 270. Yeah, nah, I ain't taking him over Hutch. He got like prototypical edge size, and he's really good.
I think I would have took him over Hutch. I like guys who could bend.
I would have took him over Trayvon.
Absolutely.
I took him over Trayvon. Hey, Trayvon, listen.
I think the reason Trey went over Hutch is because Trey was a bit more toolsy, right? And if that's what won him out, he probably would have been higher than Hutch.
Yeah, because Trey's 6'5", he 270. I ain't gonna lie though, Trey not bad at all. Like Trey's
not bad. It's just like Hutch was just so much better.
Hey, 20 and a half sacks the last 2 seasons for Trey. That's not bad. That's good work. That's good money.
It's good work. It's just Hutch on the better team.
Yeah,
Hutch is better. Like, it's tough. It's cold, dog. Like,
hey, but I think this edge class, and this is another thing I wonder if the Browns are thinking about. If you don't take an edge, the first round, bro, you probably shit out of luck at this class because all of them go in the first round.
All I know is the Browns have usually prioritized that opposite position next to Myles Garrett with a significant name. Yeah, man, Joe Tryon, whatever, that ain't doing it, dog. Like
he's a rotational. He's a rotational pass rusher.
Nah, you know what that mean? Hey, man, Agbo out of there. That's what that mean to me.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought when they signed. I was like, okay, so Agbo gone.
Yeah, if you're thinking that that's a replacement for Zadarius Smith, I'm like, brother, how? He
wasn't that good. Like,
yeah, this is a clear Andrew Berry. I'm replacing like somebody who's turning 30. Like move.
With the former first round pick, which is what they do. Former first round pick.
McKinley, right? Like when he replaced not Olivier Verda, but he replaced somebody with Adrian Claiborne. He replaced Adrian Claiborne with Tag McKinley.
Like
Andrew Berry replacing the third edge move. Yeah, I think they're gonna go Abdul.
But listen to these edges. Listen to these edges, bro. Because Tankathon has their mock draft. Have us taking Abdul Carter, by the way. So they got us taking Abdul Carter too. Who else is going? What other edges are going? They got Jalen Walker going in the first round. Shamar Stewart is 100% going in the first round, especially after the way he tested.
Shamar Stewart is the guy I think is going to Anthony Bennett this draft. Not like in terms of his career looking like Anthony Bennett, but in terms of like
people gonna be surprised how high he goes.
Way higher on him than where people are right now. Like
I told you how I feel about Shamar, didn't I?
Yeah, like if Tennessee is truly bluffing about quarterback, right, and they get backed into a corner, I'm not saying it's likely, but I do think there's a chance that they panic and go, let's go get Shamar.
They're not going to do that.
I think, look, nobody thought the Cavs were going to draft Anthony Bennett. That's why I'm like,
true.
If this is the most unlikely thing that I think could happen.
I think, because they got him going 15th. I'm telling you,
Aaron Donald was undersized. I don't give a fuck if somebody is undersized, man. If they demonstrate on their tape that
they can dominate
football, what they got to do with me that he ain't got the inch on his sheet? Get the fuck out of here.
Who's the defensive tackle that plays for the Tampa Bay Bucks right now?
Defensive tackle?
Yeah, but he's undersized, but he be getting to it. I can't think of his
draft. Black, are you?
No, I'm not talking about Yaya Diaby.
Oh, yeah, I got him mixed up with
Yaya Black in the draft, yeah.
For Iowa. You talking about
they took him in right? No, they took him in the first round. He went to Pitt too, just like Aaron Donald. And he was undersized, just like Aaron Donald. I can't think of his name. Curtis, you know who I'm talking about?
Chat got us.
But yeah, he's undersized, but he be getting to. He's good. Who cares? Like, who cares, bro? If you can play, you can play. It is what it is.
Wait, you asked for my opinion on what?
Who's the defensive tackle that plays for the Bucks? Not Vita Vea, who they took in the first round. Who's
who they took in the first?
Kalijah Kancey.
Yes.
Kalijah Kancey. Yeah, like they took him in the first round. He's good.
Yeah, he's good.
Like, who cares? No, they were like, oh, he's undersized. He's not prototypical size. Who cares? He can fucking play.
It does good. When it comes to D linemen, people have this overarching concern, like, oh, what happens if one is undersized? I'm like, it doesn't matter if you're undersized or not. If you have good strength, good power, and the ability to get to the quarterback, that doesn't matter. All that goes out the window. Like, fucking Aaron Donald was undersized. He's one of the best defensive tackles of all time.
It's funny, too, because a lot of the greatest defensive linemen of all time were kind of technically undersized.
Yeah.
When you think about it. I mean, James Harrison was 5'11". We never felt like he was undersized.
No.
We were never at James.
He was whooping people's ass. Nobody cared.
Yeah, so it's like, I get the argument if you're talking about somebody whose production is a bit more iffy, or if Abdul had not demonstrated what he demonstrated at Penn State, athletically and tools and skill-wise, you would have a point about him being undersized, or they would have a point about him being undersized. But discounting all of that simply because my man's not 6'5", I mean, that's a recipe for stupid.
And he's 6'3". Like a whole bunch of the other edges.
That's how we end up. Like, those are the dudes that we mock, right? In 3 years, we're like, oh yeah, nobody wanted to take Barry Sanders because he was only 5'9". How stupid were they? But then we fall into this trap during the draft season. We're like, well, he's only 6'3". And we never evaluate, has it ever been demonstrated that he needed the extra inch?
Like, it doesn't.
Like, does his game project? Like, if Abdul was out there only winning on bull rushes like Vernon Golston was at Ohio State, throwback name, right? And Vernon was small. Okay, you got a point, because you're not going to win bull rushing in the NFL at 250. Like, that's just not going to happen. You got to be bigger and taller than that. But that's not his game. His game is, I'm going to run around you. There are plenty of guys who have the quickness to bend and the ability of Abdul that are able to win at his size and be able to win at a generational level.
Ray Rags just said Lawrence Taylor was 6'3", 240. Y'all think he was undersized?
Them boxing pads was doing work, dog. Because have you ever thought about Lawrence Taylor only being? There's no shot. No, Lawrence Taylor was 6'3", 240.
Well, yeah, we gotta check that. We gotta check that.
Hold on, what?
We gotta check that one.
I gotta check that.
Hey, 6'3", 237.
Wow.
6'3", 237. Good call out, Ray Rags. Good call out.
Wow. First of all, shout out to them big ass pads they was wearing in the fucking 80s and 90s.
I never would have thought he was 237. Never would have thought that.
You know what it was? It was his aura, bro. Bro had 6'5" aura, bro. Did he exit the room? Curtis put him back on stage.
I had to leave for a second. I was sick and tired of this.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
yeah. But in all seriousness, right? We have to have a better, not a better way, but like a better read for like, okay, yeah, he might technically be undersized, or even if he isn't undersized, it's like, doesn't matter. Ray Rag says, by the way, that crack made him about 6'6", 270. Which, fair.
Listen, fair.
But in all seriousness, we get too obsessed with this. We're talking about a player whose his traits tell you this is a really, really good prospect at edge, but we're talking ourselves out of it with other things that don't matter around the conversation about him, because we're trying to go back and work backwards on why we shouldn't believe in Abdul Carter. And then also what drives me crazy, Cole, is that we're doing that for Abdul. We're nitpicking Abdul to death and calling him undersized and all of this shit. But then when it comes to the quarterback, nobody want to talk about Cam Ward's god-awful decision-making at 23 years old?
Or the 50 fumbles he had in his college career?
Nobody want to talk about that? Like we want to call Abdul Carter undersized. I mean, then you got to have a conversation about what Shedeur Sanders is.
Hey, Caleb has a great point right here because we also watched this game. He says, "Yeah, I watched Abdul bend around Donovan Jackson twice for sacks, and the Buckeyes didn't leave him alone all game. Didn't leave him alone again all game because they're like, yeah, he's gonna whoop his ass all game." He did that to everybody. He did that to everybody, bro.
Donovan learned this in real time because Donovan started that game, and look, he was muscling Abdul. And Abdul was getting muscled, right? Like, because Donovan's 340 pounds or whatever the fuck he is. He big. Brother's big.
He's big as shit.
Yeah. So, Abdul was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna just run around. And Donovan had nothing to do with that. Like, after that, Donovan was like, I need help, dog. He's getting to me on my second step, and I'm turning. And Donovan's really good at tackle, right? So it doesn't pop up. Like, that's the thing. Like, if I watched him versus what was it? Is it Essery that he played in Minnesota?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Essery. And I was like, oh man, he's getting beat up. Or if I watch him against like the guys who are able to have a decent game against him, it's like Josh Connerly. But Josh Connerly, I think people actually think Josh Connerly is like a powerful tackle. I'm like, no, his thing is that he's finesse, right? He used to play running back in high school. And yeah, Josh Connerly could keep up with him a bit athletically, and that gave him some problems. But even Josh had to hold like hell in order to win because Abdul was converting speed to power on him all day. Also, another thing that we need to address, a lot of people don't know what they're watching when they watch offensive line, defensive line reps. Because I've seen people post clips talk about, see, Abdul's undersized. He can't win. I'm like, he won that rep. What are you talking about?
I swear they do it all the time. I'm like, I look like a one to me. It's like he's holding.
How many times have you seen this on your timeline, Curtis?
I want to talk about this Tom bullshit because I've seen it so many times. Enough.
Bullshit.
Enough. You are not an expert in D-line or offensive line work. I'm so tired of seeing it. Like, it bothers me to a degree when I see these wannabe analysts try to evaluate D-line or offensive line work. There are some who can do it really well, but those who try to push those unfair agendas, you are not fooling me.
It'd be so obvious with somebody working backwards because I'm like, why did you post that?
Like, I get so angry looking at it.
But the worst part is that tweet, and this is the most frustrating thing about being on Twitter, the dumbest shit you'll see, you look down, 800,000 likes. And you're like, oh Lord, the stupid is winning. Stupid is winning right now, dog.
It's like, and you know what the funniest thing about it is? There's all of one fan base that calls Abdul Carter undersized. It's just ours.
Fan base that wants to draft him, right?
Like it's just ours. Like we're the only fan base that does that.
We are a very unserious fan base resides in Northeast Ohio. And I am not surprised.
The grace I will give Browns fans is that I've seen every fan base act like this when they get presented with the consensus option. And I've even seen Browns fans do this because you remember how stupid the conversation was about Myles Garrett?
Yeah, I do.
You remember people like, he's your Davion Clowney 2.0?
Clowney
2.0?
He's definitely better than Clowney. Yeah.
The people worried about the foot, right? The funny thing to me with Abdul is that people have started comparing him to like Courtney Brown. I think that's the one that people got on. And I'm like, that one's especially stupid because the guy who physically compares to Abdul Carter in that draft class, war number 11, is 6'3", 250 pounds, and was an edge rusher in the NFL, is LeVar Arrington. who went number 2 in that draft. He was pretty good.
Let's just look up LeVar Arrington, man. LeVar Arrington.
Yeah, 3 Pro Bowls, right? He had one of them careers where it was like real quick peak, but good career, right? It's just wild to me how people are just latching on to any like this foot injury that like they said is a 8-week recovery window, and people are like, I'm out.
It's not a big deal
because he's gonna miss rookie minicamp.
Yeah, that's he'll miss rookie minicamp. He'll be back by, I don't know, maybe around OTAs, something like that.
Yeah, he'll be there for mandatory OTAs in the middle of June.
Yeah, I don't care. I'll still take him.
Yeah, it's like, when has that ever stopped you from drafting a player? Hey, man, I don't think he's going to be able to report for OTAs. Like, oh, never. Fuck, let's not take him. Like,
literally never. It's never mattered. This is what I'm saying, bro. The fan base is just pulling out whatever bullshit they want to pull out.
They said he has off the field issues, all because he beat up the boot, man. That's just one incident.
Hey, Curtis, you know what the funny thing is? They say he had off the field issues. Like, you know what? Who we should draft instead? Mike Green. I'm like, come on, man. Well,
buddy, I have some news for you.
Bad news, bro. I got two pieces of bad news. One, Mike Green is also going in the first round. 2, if he doesn't, Google why.
Also, a couple of other things to add to there. Mike Green, why is playing in the Sun Belt not a bigger like concern than like Abdul Carter being 6'3"?
Also have the exact same physical measurements, but Abdul Carter's undersized.
And look, man, Mike Green didn't show up until that game was a blowout against Marshall. Abdul, that game was close the whole way. Abdul was showing up. Also, another thing, you know who you could take if you don't take him? James Pierce. Yeah, I'd rather take Abdul, man.
I'm good.
I'm good. I live with his transgressions. I got the least problem with that.
Outside of his transgressions, he's like really, really stiff. He has a ton of power, but just stiff. Like, no. And he's not someone I want on my team based off what I heard. And
let's keep it a being. Let's keep it a being, Curtis. Let's keep it a being. They was happy when he got off campus. That's what the report was. They were happy when he left campus.
Yeah, they were happy.
That's bad. That's terrible.
Fun fact, I talked to someone asking, "Hey man, is this true?" And they said, "Oh yeah, it's true." I'm like, "All right, not on my board." No.
Yeah, I knew it was bad when Corey wrote about it. And let me tell you something about Corey's not gonna write something and put it out there unless he knows it's true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's not even that type of dude where he's trying to put out rumor, he's trying to put out things and so that he knows things. No, if he puts something out there, it's because he's talked to multiple people and he knows that it's true. He said that James Pierce probably won't get picked in the first 2 rounds.
Makes sense.
And people will be surprised. People are going to be surprised when he's not, but he probably won't go in the first 2 rounds.
Makes sense. But yeah.
I've played with people who have that kind of behavior. You want to stay away from them in the locker room. That's what I'm
saying. Right. Abdul's problems have currently Abdul beating up the boot man and smoking a little bit of weed, right? That's what he's been accused of according to Twitter. Let me tell you something, man. That didn't stop Penn State locker room from giving that man the coveted number 11, which is like the number to get on Penn State's defense. It's like wearing number 7 for LSU. That means the people chose you, right? That is the people's champ. Hey, man, doesn't seem like he's a problem with his teammates. Teammates love him. Also, saw that man crash out about the Eagles and Jalen Hurts in an Instagram comment section. I'm like, that is a loyal guy. That is a team first guy, right? Once he start referring to the Browns as us and we, he's locked in, right? He's the one that gets mad at other people for not locking in enough, right? Like,
let's be honest about something else. We're talking about off the field issues. That's not even the worst off the field issues a Penn State edge that went in the first round has had.
Oh, you talking about the the Batman?
We ain't got to get into it.
I ain't going.
We ain't got to get into it.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Don't say
you know.
Either. But we talk about Batman as when we talk about.
ain't stop the Cowboys from taking him. That's like, ain't stop Jerry Jones from doing nothing. You think the Browns gonna pass on him because he beat up the boot man? Get the fuck out of here, dog.
Jay Franklin saw that boot man charge come up, and they're like, "What are you gonna do about this? Nothing.
Nothing. Fuck him. What you mean?
Want me to suspend him for a half? Get the fuck out of my face. He's playing, dog. He's the only reason we don't look like we coached by me. Okay, like the only reason you believed in a James Franklin, like that's how good Abdul Carter was. We was out there thinking James Franklin and Drew Aller might do it.
Hey, let's keep it a beam. When they played Ohio State, they should have won that game.
That's what I'm saying.
They should have won that game.
That man was so good. We were like, hey, man, these two dudes might do it.
like Will Howard. That's probably like Will Howard's worst
I was convinced that the Penn State was going to go to the national championship game, and then Drew Aller went full bad Drew Aller, which I feel so bad for him. He's going to have such a good year next year.
It should have been a rematch. It really should have been a rematch.
It should have been. Hey, if it were up to Abdul, it would have been.
Yeah, right. You're right. The Michigan game was absolutely. The Michigan game was Ohio State's worst game across the board.
Yeah,
just everybody, coaching staff, players, quarterback.
Everybody collabed to not beat Michigan.
I've clearly repressed those memories because they just pissed me off.
Yeah, that was the one game, right? That was the equivalent to the Cavs West Coast trip. was that game versus Michigan? It was like, oh yeah, they all collaborated to just suck. Okay, cool.
Man, we cool. An hour and a half about Abdul Carter and not taking the quarterback in two because there's no point.
Yeah, man. They're taking Abdul. The question is, will he wear number 11? Because another number 11 might be on the team by that point.
Since we're on the conversation of who they drafted to, if they do trade for Brandon Aiyuk, it's not like we breaking anything because that's been out there for forever at this point. It's been out there forever.
It's the Andrew Berry special, the wide receiver we talk about trading for a couple of years and then actually do.
I tweeted this a month ago. I was like, he tried to get Jerry Jeudy. Broncos told him no. Came back next year, got him for a 5th and a 6th. Great trade, by the way.
Andrew Berry certainly has a type at wide receiver.
Spin the Blackberry. That's what his name is. Spin the
Andrew
Blackberry.
Berry is one of the dudes that got a type because under 6'3", great route runners, explosive athletes. Every single guy he's traded for, right? Elijah Moore, check. Jerry Jeudy, check, and then obviously Amari Cooper, check. All three of those guys fit those boxes. And Brandon Aiyuk, yes. Like Andrew Berry is like, I'm just going to put all of these kind of guys out there. And I wouldn't be surprised if he still would be looking at Travis, but I would think bringing in Brandon would make it just a lock that you're going Abdul.
See, this is what I want to talk about. This is what I want to talk about too. Because I don't necessarily feel that way if they trade for Brandon. If/when. I don't. We're going to find out pretty soon because I think on by April 4th, the 49ers have to make a decision on like his bonuses and stuff. And they have to guarantee the following season too in his contract, I think, on the 4th. So we're going to find out pretty soon if they're going to trade for him or not, or if they're going to trade him or not.
I think they're going to probably stick with that deadline and do it because if you trade him, that money goes to Cleveland or wherever.
Yeah, so I feel like.
So they got some flexibility there.
We'll see what they end up doing. We'll see what they actually end up doing. But I don't think that necessarily stops you from taking Travis, because I'm not gonna lie, a Travis Hunter, Brandon Aiyuk, Jerry Jeudy receiving room is pretty nice.
Hey, Kirk Cousins gonna have the time.
Time of his life.
He gonna throw so many goddamn checkdowns to Travis Hunter. He be like, "Oh, he's way faster than Ray McLeod."
Like I'm saying, bro. Like I don't think that's necessarily like a bad thing. But what I was saying earlier is this: if they want to take an edge in this draft, I feel like you kind of have to do it in the first round. If you want somebody worthwhile, like all the good edges are going to go in the first round. I don't say all the good ones, but like all the highly touted edges in this draft, they're going to go in the first round. Like even on the Tankathon mock, they got 6 guys. They got 6 edges going in the first round. Mike Green is one of them. Let me start from the bottom. They got Donovan. I don't even know. I'm not even going to try to fuck up his last name.
Igorese or something like that.
It's like Izaraku. Something we got to figure out. We got to figure out how to pronounce it. He has 16 and a half sacks with Boston College. But they got him going in the first round. They got James Pierce Jr. going in the first round. He's not going to go in the first round, I don't think.
Yeah, I think that's the guy I think the Falcons are trying to trade back and get is Izaraku from Boston College.
Mike Green, Michael Williams, Shamar Stewart, Jalen Walker, who's like linebacker / edge. And then they've got Abdul going. So that's 6 guys.
Yeah, if you don't take an edge at 2, you're probably looking at like Nick Skeleton.
Yeah, Nick Skeleton. Who else is?
Now there's a truly undersized dude at Michigan.
Oh, Josiah Stewart.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I fuck with Josiah. I fuck with Josiah Stewart.
He's like 220 or something like that.
I don't know what he is, but he hooping. He be hooping. Hey, bro, crash dummy. Does not care. Does not care at all.
Somebody said this. Fuck Kirk, throw the ball. We hoping for the guy that Jetta cussed out. All I'm gonna say is, hey, bro, Jetta was still getting numbers with Kirk.
One thing about Kirk, you gonna get some numbers.
Hey, look, Jetta got paid. Okay, partly with the work that he put in. It wasn't like Kirk Cousins left him. He was like, damn, who's Justin Jefferson? No, like,
hey, Ray McLeod, love Kirk.
No, that's the thing, though. That's we got to draft Travion Henderson, and we really gonna bring in Kirk. We got to make it so that he can't throw the ass at the lower level, because he will throw the ass if it's the check down, right? David Njoku, get ready to run them ball routes, baby. Just all David Njoku's season gonna be right there, just like that. Same shit he did with Joe Flacco.
Like, no lie.
Yeah, mesh ball route, throw to David. Like, that was the game plan. Like,
but yeah, I do wonder what trading for Aiyuk, how much that changes the math on what they want to do in the draft. Like, I do wonder if that makes it more likely that they take.
I have been under the assumption that they're not going to really do much to address wide receiver in the draft. Like, I think the biggest splash they can make a wide receiver will be Travis Hunter, which would be a quasi wide receiver move, right? Because you probably play, we talked about it, Travis probably play 600, maybe 650 snaps on offense, which is not nothing. Like, it's a good amount of snaps.
That's a decent amount of snaps. That's a decent amount.
He can be number 2 on your team in targets with that amount of snaps. So you're going to have Travis out there, and then you can have Cedric Tillman take whatever's left with Aiyuk and Jerry Jeudy. Well, Jerry Jeudy will probably move over, play a little bit of the slot, which makes sense with Travis, because Travis plays wide. He's not really a slot guy in college. So he took like 34 snaps at slot. He mainly played wide. And I would want Travis wide because he has those great ball skills. So, yeah, you'll probably move Jerry closer to the slot because that's where Jerry thrives. And then you can flip him and Aiyuk. And then, boom. It's basically the plan you had with Amari Cooper last year, except for you're replacing Amari Cooper with Brandon Aiyuk, and you're replacing Elijah Moore with Travis Hunter.
Listen, bro, I think that's a very viable plan to revive this offense and become more explosive. Like, I don't think that's a bad if that's what they did, I wouldn't be unhappy if they did.
And then imagine how insert 2026 quarterback gonna look with that wide receiver crew. Hey, K Klubnik or Love Life. What's our boy in South Carolina?
Oh, I was thinking about 2027 class or 2028. I was thinking about DJ Lagway. You talking about Lenore Sellers?
Yeah, look, if we draft the quarterback next year, he will be from the Carolinas.
Hey, listen, Jalen Milroe might have a great time.
Hey, look, be the best receiver room he's ever seen, right? Like
hard to mess that up. Hard to mess that one up.
And look, to Jalen Milroe's credit, man, he's put in a lot of work, a lot of tangible work over this offseason where I'm like, man, the throwing motion do look better. Like, I think I was talking to Corey about this. I'm like, yeah, there was like a tangible progression from the end of the season. He looked bad at the Senior Bowl, but apparently they were just working on shit. Didn't care how you looked at the Senior Bowl. And I'm like, now when he threw at the combine, I was starting to notice it. But yeah, his pro day, I was like, okay, that form looks better. That form looks good. It's like,
I've been saying this. I've been saying this for a minute, bro. I've been saying this for a minute. I think if they don't take a quarterback at 2 and it's starting to feel like they're not going to do that, I think they're taking Jalen.
Somebody said, I don't know about Clemson QBs. I'll just say this. The ones we know about, they were good at one point in the pros. You know, Deshaun wasn't good in Cleveland, but he was a good pro at one point in his career. And like Trevor Lawrence's problem is he on the Jaguars.
Sorry, JP.
Yeah, he knows.
Sorry, JP.
Hey, nobody knows this more than JP. Okay. Because JP will be like, he's a good quarterback. He's just had to live with Irvin. I'm like, he's not lying.
It's not wrong. It's not wrong.
It's not wrong. But we thought Trevor was going to be like transcendent. He's just pretty good. Like, you know, like it's tough with Trav.
Look, if y'all want to get rid of him, you can send him to Cleveland. That's fine with me.
Yeah, I think that would be the last place he would want to get sent here because I think he would. He believes in Kevin, so he's like, no.
Oh man.
By the way, people outside of Cleveland are way higher on the Browns' ability to get something out of Kenny Pickett than we are. I feel like that has something to do with the fact that we just don't like Kenny Pickett.
I don't know what it is. I mean, he's definitely better than DT. He's definitely better than DTR, so it is what it is.
I think the argument can be boiled down to this. Look, man, Kevin Stefanski do numbers with boring. And what is Kenny Pickett but boring? Like,
and don't turn the ball over, though.
Because, like, his number, the stuff that he pulled out with Case Keenum in Minnesota, it does make you think, like, hey, could he do that with Kenny Pickett?
Got me
how weird of a year would that be?
Man, I say now I remember what Kenny's issue is.
Yeah.
Now I remember Kenny's issue is. That man cannot throw touchdowns.
He don't throw over the middle field. But yeah, the funny thing with Kenny is like, look, man, I don't care how it looks. We're going to flip roles because we've been talking about not drafting the quarterback. Kenny looks good. People are like, well, we can keep Kenny. Draft the quarterback. I don't care how. And let me make this clear. 2026, 2027, one of 2 years, you got to draft the quarterback. I don't care how good Kirk Cousins looks in that meantime, or Russell Wilson looks in that meantime, or Kenny Pickett or anybody else looks in that meantime, unless it is somebody young that you have drafted. Like, unless Jalen Milroe start looking like Colin Kaepernick. Okay, we got something. We can cook with that. But unless it's that, hey, bro, 2026, 2027, if guy makes sense, you take him.
Listen, I think it's gonna be Milroe, bro. I think that's who they make the bet on.
I think it all hinges on how Tommy Reese actually feels about Jalen Milroe. Like, if Tommy Reese is in there pounding the table for Jalen Milroe, the Browns will probably take him much earlier than any of us are anticipating. Not like at 2 or anything like that, but probably 33.
That's the thing, though. I feel like they would have to do it at 33, and that makes me nervous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't love the idea of it. Like, I'm not in love with it, but if Tommy Reese is like, if we find out that Tommy Reese really wanted Jalen Milroe and he has all that extra information on him, okay, you know, trust your staff.
If there's conviction with the Milroe pick, I'm like, okay,
yeah,
like okay, like we go see how this goes.
Now here is the thing to ask yourself. Is drafting Jalen Milroe going to stop Kirk Cousins from waiving his no trade clause here?
No, because they're not going to take Jalen Milroe in the first round, so he's not going to care.
But 33 is basically the first round.
Do you think? Because everybody's talking about them trading down. Do you think a trade down from the second round makes more sense?
If they don't want a quarterback at 33, it does. But if you do want to, like, if you really do believe in Jalen Milroe and he's there at 33, you got to take him. You can't play no games of somebody jumping ahead of you and taking him. If you truly believe in Jalen, if Tommy is out there pounding the table saying, we need to get Jalen Milroe, this guy could be a franchise guy. Let me cook with him, right? Like, you know, if he's out there saying, I can work with this dude, this is the guy, and Kevin sees the vision too, and Andrew sees the vision. Yeah, man, you got to do it at 33. I mean, you kind of have to debate whether you want to jump into the first round to do it. It might seem completely unnecessary, but everybody knows that, because, like, here's the thing that will happen. If the Browns want to do Jalen Milroe at 33, they haven't drafted a quarterback yet, right? Every team knows that the Browns are going to take a quarterback at 33. So if you want to get Jalen Milroe, there might be a market to trade up to 32, 31. And if you're the Browns, you might have to beat that market by just trading up.
I wouldn't care if they had to trade up to 31 or 30 or whatever, because for two reasons. One, not going to cost you a lot. A team's not going to like hold you hostage to try to get the 30th pick. They're just
you're going to give up a fourth. That's what
you give up a fourth.
Yeah,
here you give up a fourth. They'll probably take a fourth next year. That's fine. Here, and then boom, you good.
Yeah.
And two, you get the 5th-year option on them. So if it does work out, you know, being a little optimistic here, if it does work out, you got the 5th-year option. You feeling good?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like, if you really believe in it, call your twin brother, Andrew. Just get swap 32 with 33, like, and get that 5th year. Like, you know, but then you have to deal with, like, is that going to make Kirk not want to come here? Is it even fucking worth it at that point? Like, are you just fine? Like, are you fine just sacrificing Kenny for 6 weeks and then, like, playing Jalen Milroe after that? Which, hey, that'd be a fascinating situation in Cleveland, right? Because if they do draft Jalen Milroe, and it'd be the first time in my lifetime that they gonna be rooting for the brother to get in over the white dude in Cleveland. Because, like, they're going to be like, no, we don't want Kenny Pickett at all. Kenny Pickett throw 2 interceptions. Boo! We want Milroe.
Yeah, because he used to play for the Steelers, so he ain't getting none of that love, unfortunately. He ain't getting none of that love.
Too with the Steelers, too. It's like, yeah, bro, we going to get that we want Milroe. I'm like, wow. Look how far we've come.
Progress.
Hey, I thought the shot was going to make this never be possible. Okay.
Put Jalen in.
Do you even do do you give Milroe 4, or do you tell Milroe stay away from that number, young fella? Like, you want nothing to do with that. Where to again? Like,
nah, you can give him 4. You can give him 4.
I don't know. I would not trot him out there in 4 just so more people could just be reminded. Okay.
You gotta give him 4.
Like, you gotta do the anti-retirement on 4, where it's like you just don't want to put that shit on nobody. Right? Like,
you gotta give him. I wonder what number he will wear. He's on the Browns. Anybody wear 8?
Yeah, Elijah Moore wore 8, but he's not
coming back. Yeah, he's not coming back.
He could do 8. He did 2 his freshman year in college.
Nobody wore 2 here. Did Amari Cooper wear 2?
Amari Cooper wore 2, yes.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper, he's not on the team no more.
Yeah, so he might be all right.
Yeah. Hey, look, I would stay away from 4. Don't do nothing swagless like 14. I'm gonna not believe in the pick if he wears 14.
Like, he gotta wear 8 or something.
Caleb Williams, his career is not gonna get right until we get a better number. Because 18, he's wearing 18. Yeah, it's just swagless. The aura is just terrible. Bro has no aura. All right, don't quit.
I was thinking about it too.
Well, yeah. He's got to. I feel like you can make 2 work. You could make. Should he wear 6? Nah. He don't feel like.
Nah, you can't wear 6. He can't wear 6.
Okay. What number does Jalen Hurts wear? 1?
I think he wears 1. Let me see.
He wears 1.
Okay. Yeah, he wears 1.
Okay, Jalen Hurts, number 1. I feel like that works for him. I don't want him to wear 8 because people are going to think about Lamar Jackson. This young fella's not Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Nah, 19, 18, 17. You can't wear none of that shit. 16, 15. Yeah, I think that 9?
9 could be cold.
9 might be cold.
9 could be cold.
Does he have any fun? Like, well, if he wore 3, he could be Milrow with the 3 instead of the E.
Doesn't Jerry Jeudy wear 3?
Yeah, 3's taken. 3's taken. Jerry Jeudy in 3 is a surprising hit.
Breaking down jersey number selection.
Yeah. See, this is the best way to be bored, man. Like, this is better than like being bored and just spreading out disingenuous talking points on social media. Like, yeah, number 3 on Jerry Jeudy. It looks clean. I didn't think it'll work. And then I saw it. I was like, you know what? I see the vision. Yeah, number 4.
I think 2 works.
2
works. 9 works. Yeah, he got to pick 2 or 9.
He might do something like 4 might be a really important number to him, so you might go like 1 plus 3, 13. I don't think that works though.
No, I don't think that works.
Maybe 11. Does 11 work? But hey, never mind, dog. Somebody else got that number.
Somebody said 0.
No, I don't want my quarterback wearing no goddamn 0. Nah. 0 has to go to like a hustle guy, right? Like your slot corner can wear 0. You know,
see, it's so different how basketball and football are.
Yeah,
0 in basketball that could be like, especially if you had the Gilbert Arenas
or the hibachi. Just Teague's story about when Gilbert came back, he was like, "Man, I wore 0 because of Gil," and then Gil came back, he wore number 9. I'm like, I don't want the 9. It's like that number change. It really do matter. But yeah, 0 don't really work in football. I think people been trying to make it work. It don't look
Greg,
like.
wait, does Greg wear? What does Greg wear?
0.
Yeah.
It don't work. It don't really work. You know.
And you don't want to do 00 either, because I'm like,
double 0. I'm like, all right, you're trying too hard.
Yeah, you can't do 00.
You can't do 00 in the league anyway. Well, yeah, like who wears 0 and it works? Someone said 14. Nah, 14 too much. It's too many. This is a sleek athlete. I want single digits, like double digits for a dude like that. That don't work. That's ugly.
Yeah, I think he got to settle on.
14, I'm thinking you about to hitch in the pocket and step and slide and all that shit. Like that's not. I want Jalen go. Okay, like,
yeah, he got to do like 2 or 9 or something.
Yeah, he got to do 2.
We'll leave 8. We'll leave 8 on the table.
Here's how we'll do it. Just like Alabama, right? First 2 years, you're gonna wear 2, young fella. Then we gonna get rid of Deshaun Watson, and number 4's all yours if you are ready to take it, right? But by then, we'll know. You know, like, go ahead, switch to 4, bro. like, ain't nobody stopping you, right?
Hold on, Rex Fortune said, "I miss physical wide receivers in the '80s." Such a good fit. Yeah, the 80s.
Is such an underrated wide receiver. 84.
Ooh.
Big possession receiver. Strong hands, right? Off the line of scrimmage. Boom. Like, yeah, that man. What was it? Was it Stevie Johnson? What number Stevie Johnson used to wear? 81?
I think he did have 81.
Yeah. Hey, why has 81 gone away as a top tier wide receiver number?
That's a cold wide receiver number, bro.
81?
That's a cold wide receiver number.
What number should Travis wear? Two-way player. Now that's a hard one, right? Because you got to think about maybe he could go 0.
No, Stevie Johnson had 13.
Stevie Johnson did wear we did wear low digits.
13. Who had 81?
I know T.O. was on the Bills for a year. He had 81.
Man.
Someone said 1 for Hunter. That makes sense.
Yeah, 1 for Hunter definitely makes sense.
I think 12 could work though. 12 is a growing corner number. It's an up and coming corner number.
Are you talking about Travis?
Yeah.
But they say he gonna be a receiver mostly though.
Yeah, but 12's a wide receiver number. Josh Gordon wore 12.
Oh yeah, they can work. That can work.
So it's a two-way number, right? Or he should get something reversible. That's why I think 0 makes sense because it's a number you could flip and it's still the same. He could wear 8. You know, if he's trying to get some extra meaning on it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So there's a way you go.
We locked in at Abdul at 11.
Yeah, dog. We're getting 11 and 12 jerseys pre-made. We just waiting on who gonna get.
We just wait to see who.
We're running. If me and Cole were running the Browns, it would be no secret. The Browns are selecting either Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter at 2. We don't give a fuck what's going on at what. We are happy with the player we are getting at number 2.
We might just flip a coin and decide that way.
I mean, like, no, I'm picking Abdul, right? Because I know how that works, right? The Travis thing takes a little bit more imagination, but you know what, man? If you force me to take a Travis Hunter, oh man, it's like the Trey Rags. Oh man.
or the Drake at the basketball game, like,
damn.
We gotta take Travis.
The Drake reaction, the fake sad reaction, that's how I would feel if Cam Ward went number 1. Damn, I'm so mad, Andrew. Damn. So we're gonna draft Abdul.
So we're gonna draft Abdul, right?
The same way. Look, KD went down. What did the Toronto Raptors immediately do? Run plays at his replacement. Okay, it was the NBA Finals. We ain't got time for that shit. Poor Norman Powell was in there trying to play the wing on Kawhi Leonard. Okay, like,
wasn't Norman Powell on that team?
Norman Powell was on the Raptors. Oh, he was on the Raptors. It was who did they have out there play wing after he got? I remember it was like top tier nobody. Like,
because you got to remember he got hurt. Him and Clay both got hurt that series.
Yeah,
it was
like Kevon Looney, Steph, Draymond.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. But look, you go watch them plays right after he did it. They felt bad, and then they ran that pick and roll.
It's just business, never personal.
Hey, it was a little personal. They was trying to win a championship in 5.
Hold on. So Trey said Travis Hunter should be 11 because he'll believe he's number 1 on both sides. I like it.
Or he could just be number 1 on both sides.
Is somebody wearing number 1? No,
because not on the team anymore.
Juan Thornhill's going. Yeah, he could take number 1.
Somebody said Jalen Milroe number 7. Number 7 always hits. It's just such a good number because he can't wear 9. Grant Delp is 9.
Oh, okay, yeah. And 7. 7's not bad. 7's not bad.
7's not bad. There's never been a good Browns number 7.
He could be the first.
He gotta get that number off Dustin. And look, that's an easy get. Just spend your rookie bonus on that number. Hey, dog, he might not even make it to the regular season. Like,
yeah.
Go get that 7.
Yeah, go get that 7. That's cold. That's
7.
cold.
You know what I mean? 7, 1. Abdul gonna take 11. Travis gonna take. Ronnie McLeod had 12, so 12's open. So Travis is gonna take 12.
hey, you get that? You get that 7? He a runner too.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna look cold. It's gonna look cold.
Mike Vick vibes. Maybe some Mike Vick vibes.
7 is like coming off. And look, here's the thing about Jalen Milroe: immediate gravity on RPOs, like right when he enters the league, which is gonna help him greatly as a passer.
Man, yeah, he get the Mike Vick vibes with the 7.
Yeah.
I can fuck with that.
I wonder if he might go like, because he does do the Lamar Jackson thing where he wears a wide receiver. Curtis, come on here. I need a fellow equipment nerd up here because he'll know what I'm talking about. But he does the Lamar Jackson thing. You know how Lamar wear a wide receiver face mask?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jalen does that one. So you think Jalen goes with the 8, pay homage to Lamar? Because it's obviously somebody who has influenced him.
He might keep the same helmet and I don't know, maybe it's a possibility. He's not gonna change. I don't think he's gonna change his face mask. If he does, he gotta be one that matches him. He can't go with the he can't go with the OBJ one. It doesn't look like
you can't go Jag.
No, the OBJ one. No.
What about jagged at the bottom though? Not with the sidebar. That might go hard. Like it not too many though, right? Because too many it could look like a shark fin. It's like just like the 2 bars in the middle.
He could,
and maybe like an accent bar underneath it.
He could do it.
Yeah, I'm like that'd be cold. Or like a smoke visor. You know he ain't throwing that shit nowhere.
So he ain't throwing that shit nowhere. Oh man!
Your quarterback come out with a smoke visor, dog. That ball is not going in the air. Like what? He got smoke visor and turf tape on. That man is running. Okay, like what?
Oh man,
you look like fucking AJ Brown out there. Like,
oh shit. Hey, bro, when they signed Tevin Jenkins, did that make you automatically believe that there was going that the Aiyuk trade's on the way?
I think that can mean a number of things because I'm looking at this from Tevin Jenkins' perspective. My theory is this: Tevin could have started at guard 2 different places.
That's what I'm saying.
So I don't think he came here to start at guard, or at least he's definitely not going to sit the bench. Okay, like I know some people have pushed this out as like, oh, he's a deaf guy. I don't think that's the case. He had options. He didn't have to be a deaf guy. So either like, and if he's going to sign to replace Wyatt Teller, I would wonder why he makes the decision to sign now, not just wait till they actually make the move with Wyatt, right? Like unless they have it in the bag, and it doesn't seem like that's the case. My guess is that he's on a 1-year deal, right? Maybe the plan with him is he's 27. He only got 150 snaps at left tackle his rookie year, which is the position he was drafted to be coming out of Oklahoma State. He was a tackle at Oklahoma State too, right tackle, I believe. So maybe this is him trying to say, hey, I want to prove to the league I can play tackle as good as I can play guard, and then re-enter the market and get a Dan Moore contract. Because I imagine he looked at Dan Moore and was like, I'm better than him at tackle. And if he can get 4 years, 80 mil, I think I could get 4 or 100 next year if I play tackle for a season. So I think it's a bet on myself type deal for Tevin, where he's coming here to try to play left tackle. We're the only team that offered it to him. And this is his chance to try to hit the market again real quick. Because the 1-year deal part, I'm like, you wouldn't sign somebody to replace Wyatt Teller on a 1-year deal. You feel me? Like that's the part of it that's the part that don't sit right with me. So I'm like, I think maybe he might come in. And if he plays tackle, it makes a lot of sense.
I think it's weird that he would come here to play the way you broke it down, like he's trying to prove that he can play tackle in the league.
Because he only got 150 snaps there.
I'm like, bro, you like a really good guard though when you healthy.
Well, a really good guard gets about 14 million. A mediocre tackle like Dan Moore got 20.
Got 20. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's thinking I'm better than mediocre. I can get 10 more million a year if I just prove to I can play tackle. And right now, the Browns are in this limbo where it's like, yeah, Jack Conklin's going to be there. They're going to play him at right tackle. Dewan's still coming back from injury. He has to lose weight. And Dewan's going to be able to get in because one of these guys are going to get injured at some point during the season. Dewan's going to be able to get some time in. So if you're the Browns, you're like, we still can develop Dewan, but you have a primary left tackle, and then you have Cornelius Lucas, who could be your backup swing guy.
We'll see, man. We'll see how it shake out. We'll see.
Hey, the run blocking is going to be much better. From the tackle position.
I mean, yeah.
He is to Jet Wheels is significant as a run blocker. I would hope, even on at tackle. But also, it's not as big as a transition from guard to him because he played left guard the last 2 years. So to just be stepping out to tackle. And the 150 snaps he did play at tackle, they were at left tackle.
We'll see. I think obviously if there's a Brandon Aiyuk trade coming down the line here.
I think that's why the Browns were like, we'll definitely do this because they have the flexibility of being like, okay, well, we could try to convince Tev to play guard. Like if we trade Wyatt. I wonder if I can see the 49ers wanting them, but like the 49ers don't scream like a team that's trying to win right now. In all honesty, like if you trade Brandon Aiyuk and you already traded Debo, and we know what that team looks like without those two, I feel like you're trying to get younger and cheaper on the offensive line. I wouldn't be surprised if they'd be interested in Greg.
I can see them being interested in Greg.
They can get him on that 5th year, sign him to a deal that's going to be under the market value for a corner and still say like that's a first-round prospect.
I can see them doing that. Plus, they clear off the Brandon Aiyuk money. Mm-hmm. Which opens up money for them to sign Brock.
And then Greg's going to be there for that second window with Brock, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if you trade for Wyatt, he ain't going to be there for that second window for Brock.
No, Brock, Wyatt's like, 31?
Wyatt's like 30.
30, 31, somewhere in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that makes sense. I think the trade's coming down the line, though.
It feels like they want to make a move, and the Browns will certainly do it. And I don't think the 49ers give two shits about how Brandon Aiyuk feels about this at all. So
no, especially not after what happened last offseason.
Yeah, there's beef there.
people also have to remember, like, the 49ers and the Browns agreed to a trade for Brandon Aiyuk last year. Like, they had everything done and, like, were ready to send it. Brandon Aiyuk was the only one holding it up.
Yeah, because he didn't want to sign the extension.
Yeah, so, like, they don't have to worry about that this time.
Yeah, and maybe they have to give him, like, a couple extra million a year, but
who cares?
But if they can do that, they'll restructure the contract in a way that they feel favorable. Like, I think that's what the Browns are betting on. They're betting on their ability to reconstruct the contract better than San Francisco, which I'm going to be real with y'all. The Browns are probably better at that than San Francisco is. Like, the thing with Andrew Berry is pro personnel side, he's one of the best in the NFL. Like, if you just look at the contracts and all of that, the draft has not been as strong for Andrew, but pro personnel stuff, salary cap management, the fact that we've been able to re-sign everybody without worry with this Deshaun Watson contract, he does a good job there. He does not settle for bad contracts most of the time, except for the Deshaun one, which we don't think is his fault. I think it's obvious it's not his fault at this point. I think it's like Jimmy is clearly like, yeah, that's on me.
That's why when everybody says, like, if they only win 6 games or 7 games, everybody's getting fired. I'm like, I don't think that's the case.
I don't think Jimmy trying to hire anybody anytime soon, bro. Like,
I think Jimmy knows that this is at least partly Jimmy's fault.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that they survived a 3-14 season and signed extensions before the season even started, 5-year extensions, I believe, and they survived a 3-14 season, they're probably not getting fired this year.
The part that made me kind of convinced that they aren't in trouble is that he told Myles to talk to them. Yeah. Like, he thought Myles Garrett was at risk, and he was like, Andrew's got this. Yeah. That is not somebody who feels tight about the job security of Andrew Berry.
Yeah,
and honestly, it's a good sign because now you have more hope that Jimmy ain't gonna be in that damn room. We need to get us a quarterback, right? Like,
that's why I don't think I don't think they're going to draft a quarterback this year. At least not at 2. I don't think they're going to draft a quarterback. Because if they don't draft a quarterback, that gives me the biggest signal in the world that they are not worried about their job security at all.
You know what kind of convinced me they're definitely not going quarterback is when they threw that Journey concert for season ticket holders only. Because everybody looked at that and was like, oh, you're not going to do that if you're going to draft Abdul Carter. I'm like, on the contrary. You would do something like throw a free Journey concert to entice people to sign up for season tickets if you knew it wasn't going to be easy to get them to do it after.
Exactly. Because why you got to do all that?
If they thought they was going to secure a lot of season tickets, hey, bro. If they were going to draft Shador, they'd be like, yeah, excitement's going to be there. We're going to sell these season tickets and we're hiking up the price. They're like, no, we're going to hike up the price still, but we are going to give you a free concert for that. Yeah, man, this feels like they're definitely not. It feels like what's his name? The president of the Browns has realized that the Browns football ops is not going quarterback. I think non-football ops really wants the Browns to go quarterback because Nathan Zagura won't shut up about it. And I'm like, that's what Peter, what's the guy's name? The non-football president, JD or some shit like that.
JW.
I think he really wants the Browns to go quarterback because financially it would be better for the team if they got a quarterback here. But that ain't what football ops telling them.
Bro, everything that they're doing screams Abdul or Travis to me.
Which I am 100% fine with.
Yeah, everything they're doing screams Abdul or Travis.
Yeah. All right. Do we want to talk about the Cavs real quick and then get into questions?
Yes, absolutely. We got to talk about the Cavs. Well, let's just present this chat real quick, since y'all in here. Do you think it matters if teams are afraid to play the Cleveland Cavaliers in the playoffs or not? Do you think it matters?
That conversation is such an interesting one because I'm like, of course, teams aren't afraid of the Cavs yet. And it makes sense that they shouldn't be afraid of the Cavs because the Cavs haven't done it yet, right? And I don't think Pat Beverly meant it in this way, but I'm like, it's a stupid conversation to have because teams weren't even afraid of LeBron until he became two-time champion LeBron James. And then there was some fear about playing the Heat and LeBron James, right? But that's normal, right? Were people really afraid of the Celtics last year? Because the talking point was Jimmy beat them, right? And then they won that championship, and now people are more afraid of the Celtics. I don't think anybody's going to be afraid of the Cavs until they demonstrate why teams should be afraid of the Cavs. But that does not mean that the Cavs aren't good.
Yeah, to me, when I listened to what Pat said, I was just like, there's some things that he said that I agree with a little bit, but the overarching thing of being fearful of playing the Cavs, I just don't think it matters if they are or not. I don't think that matters if they're afraid to play the Cavs or not. It's up to the Cavs, kind of like what you said. It's up to the Cavs to go out there in the postseason, and they just got to whoop these teams' ass. That's what they got to do.
You know what team really benefited from fear? It's the 2018 Cavs. That team benefited a lot from, oh my God, that's LeBron James. Right.
Yeah, second stint, those second stint Cavs teams, 2015, 2018. Everybody in the East knew what it was.
Yeah. It was oh my God, that's LeBron James. He is still in the East and he is at the peak of his powers, and that's Kyrie Irving. And even that core didn't become feared until halfway through 2016 when they got J.R. Smith and all them, right? No, that was 2015. They got J.R. Smith.
No,
that was 2016.
2016 year.
2015-16 season, the year they won the championship. Halfway through that season, they got J.R. Smith, and that's when it started to get put together. You're like, oh, this is a real LeBron team. Because even that first one, we were by default, they're going to win a championship, but they didn't feel dominant in the way because they were like, they still had that weirdness with David Blatt. They weren't as dominant as a regular season team as you would expect. And, you know, there was some weirdness with that team. There were some first-year jitters. They had to trade for Timothy Mozgov hastily throughout the year to solve an answer at center because they were trying to play Anderson Varejao, right? They were still retooling and figuring out what that era LeBron team would be. But 2016 Cavs, they were most certainly feared, at least in the East. 2017 Cavs, I mean, the whole East was just on lock, right? And even to the point to where we got to 2018, and that's why I say 2018 benefited the most, that team had no business getting to the NBA Finals. No. But they did, and partly because, oh my God, that's LeBron James, was absolutely a factor with every team that they played, specifically the 1-seed Toronto Raptors.
Oh yeah, it was complete mental domination. Like, they knew mentally they could not beat LeBron James.
They had no shot. Right, like, and it was like LeBron made that ridiculous bullshit floater. That was it. They quit immediately after that. It was game 4 was after that. They just folded after that. It was like, we can't beat them.
Hey, was that the year DeMar DeRozan was like, if we had LeBron on our team, we would have won too? Was that the year he said that?
But there were so many years, right? There was one year he had to decompress, right?
Hey, LeBron was torturing DeMar, bro. I started to feel bad. You could tell it was really fucking with DeMar. It was really fucking with him. Like, I cannot beat this.
Him and Paul George were on a podcast together, and they were just commiserating about how LeBron changed their entire career path because DeMar was like, yep, we lost that game, and I was out of there that offseason. He's like, yeah, he got you too, huh? He got me in Indiana, right? Like, and the crazy part was Paul George at one point was the LeBron stopper hope for everybody, and it just went away.
Hey, with Paul, it was kind of worse, though. Because Bron got him in game 7s back-to-back seasons. They was like, it was worse because y'all was actually like right there. Like, y'all really had a chance.
Jeff Teague is hilarious when he talks about this because he's like, we never beat the Cavs in the playoffs. At one time, we was up 25, and he's like, we good. I was like, what?
He's like, don't worry, we good. We good. We got them right where we want them.
He's like, what? Yeah, and then they came back and won by 10. He was like, people in Atlanta were cheering for him. Yeah, I've hard fouled him.
Jeff Teague, best storyteller in NBA history.
him and Iman Shumpert got to go at it for the crown. Like, because I think Iman, whenever this LeBron documentary drops,
oh yeah,
he's gonna be it's like the Twilight Zone, you know, like the documentary usually starts with like somebody at a fireplace opening a book, you know, telling you, oh, this tale of a kid from Akron, that's going to be Iman Shumpert in a robe telling you the story of LeBron James, like narrating you from start to finish. And it's going to be epic because that man been waiting his whole post career to narrate the LeBron James story. Like he is like, I'm gonna be the guy that they go to because he knows it's gonna be a big ass market for that. You know how many documentaries about LeBron we gonna get because he's our whole generation of basketball.
He's probably only gonna be one. It's gonna be produced by him.
Like, there's gonna be so many LeBron. There's already a bunch of LeBron stuff. There's already a movie. Like,
I forgot he do that. He got a movie.
He has a movie studio, Cole. We are gonna get a 23-part documentary. We are gonna get 2 4-hour documentary movies. We are gonna get documentaries about specific moments in LeBron, like that Game 6 picture, where his legacy was on the line. That's gonna be a whole movie. Just leading up to that. And think about the people LeBron has surrounded his career with that will be awesome in documentary form. Dwayne Wade. You ever hear Dwayne Wade on the podcast? He's amazing when he is telling stories about what happened, right? Like, he's going to be amazing doing it. Chris Bosh. You will get Tim Duncan.
Melo
talking about how he couldn't do nothing. Okay, nothing.
Hey, Kawhi.
He ain't gonna have Kawhi on there.
No, he gonna have Kawhi on there. He gotta have Kawhi on there. He gotta have Kawhi on there.
He's not gonna do that to himself. Look, he's got no moments over Kawhi, right? Everybody else,
that's what I'm saying. That's what he's saying. He gotta have Kawhi on there. Be like, yeah, man.
Rashad McCant's gonna have to produce the one with Kawhi in it. All right,
Bron is smart enough to know that, like, yeah, I gotta have, because he's lost, because he's had so many like.
He gonna do stuff like have Draymond in it or Steph, because those
if you have Draymond in it, if you have Draymond in it, you gotta have Kawhi in it.
The thing with Kawhi is Kawhi say anything.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you gotta have the other side. You gotta have the other side.
What did Kawhi get in there? How was guarding LeBron? I'm gonna be real with you. It was pretty easy. Like, he
gotta have that in the doc. You gotta have that.
Let's work back to the whole conversation about the Cavs being fair, right? No, this is not the LeBron era Cavs, right? That's the difference between this team winning 57 games and the 2016 Cavs winning 57 games. Is the Cavs in 2016 had the fear of LeBron James. They had the greatest player in their generation, who I think in his early 30s, he was still in his prime. Like
he was the best player in the league.
His jumper was just crazy, right? Like at that point in his career, still the best player in the league, still LeBron James. Yes, that is very different than what this Cavs team has now, because they don't have that single player that you sweat. The problem with this mindset is that I think it's a bit outdated, because there's not really that in the NBA, or at least in the East, right? Like maybe you can feel that way about Jason Tatum. I don't know if he's gotten there yet, right? But we talk about Jason Tatum has moments where it feels like Kobe. It ain't Jason Tatum feels like Kobe, though. It's moments that feel like Kobe. There's not really that. Shai's having a good year, but Shai's not there yet. Who else? Like, do we give Kristaps? I mean, not Kristaps. Do we give Jokic that? Because Jokic don't feel inevitable in the way that some of these dudes felt inevitable in the 7-game series.
I think Jokic is pretty up there. When he's locked in, like he
feels inevitable to you, Laker fan. Okay,
not even so much anymore because D'Lo gone. So I ain't even be worried about it now. But like, who else?
You mean AD?
Huh?
You mean AD's gone?
No, I said D'Lo's gone, so we good.
Stop y'all from beating Jokic?
Absolutely. Go back and watch some games. D'Lo was god awful in every game.
On D'Lo, man.
Go back and watch every single Nuggets Lakers playoff game the last couple years. D'Angelo Russell is terrible.
We would say Jokic probably is the closest to feeling like that in the NBA currently.
Him? Will we say Giannis? I don't know if I'll say Giannis.
Nah, Giannis don't feel like that.
No, I don't know if I'll say Giannis.
Giannis had his 2019 moment was there, but he hasn't felt like that.
Like Steph don't feel like that anymore. KD don't feel like that anymore. Brown don't feel like that anymore.
I think Luka in a couple years will feel like that.
Yeah, I think Luka's gonna feel like that in a couple years.
Yeah, once they get a structure around him. Because right now they're just kind of winging it with him and LeBron. The shit's working.
I told you what it was. Like in the offseason, they're gonna figure out the roster, and then we're gonna see what it's really about.
What's really gonna be. Someone said Anthony Edwards. No. I've seen him miss way too many shots in the fourth quarter.
Anthony Edwards not there yet. Who else? Tatum might be
the closest
outside of Jokic.
Way closer to him to feeling like that than Tatum.
Yeah, I think Jokic is the, like, when he get it going, there's nothing you could do.
Yeah. With Tatum, you feel like you have to just withstand whatever barrage he's going on, but you know it's going to end at some point. With Jokic, he might average 30 and 20 the whole fucking series.
Tatum got real playoff like moments. Yeah. I think because of like the finals against the Warriors when he got shut down. Yeah. And then obviously the Eastern Conference Finals when Jimmy when they won. I think people hold on to that, but outside of those, like he got like some moments in the playoffs where he was cooking.
Do we put Jimmy in that conversation?
No.
I feel like Jimmy Butler from 2 years ago feels more inevitable than Jason Tatum does right now in the playoffs.
I disagree.
Because he just took over.
I do. One thing I will say about Jimmy though is this: Jimmy definitely plays better in the playoffs than he does in regular season. 100%.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the problem with that conversation is I don't think anybody is really feared in the NBA right now. In the way that, like, maybe in Pat Beverly's era, well, definitely in Pat Beverly's era, that happened, right? Like, there was that. It was KD Warriors, it was the Warriors, and it was LeBron, and those were the boogeyman, and they legit gave the Rockets fear, right? Or whoever else that Pat Bev's team was on that year. But we haven't really had that since LeBron has stopped being like that last year, 2018 Bron. It's not been about these teams that, like, nobody was really, the Milwaukee Bucks weren't like that.
Feared. Yeah, nobody feared them.
Nobody was fearing, like, the Toronto Raptors. Like, Kawhi eventually got to the point where it felt inevitable. You still were worried that if KD came back in that series, they could have beat the Raptors. So it wasn't completely like that. Like, all these other teams that have won championships, even the 2021 Warriors, that was a Cinderella run, right? Like, that was a shock more than anything. It was just, hey, Steph's got it like that, right? But it wasn't like you went into there like, oh my God, Steph gonna do it. Like, Steph
we don't really have those teams anymore. Like, we don't have the Jordan Bull. We don't have the Jordan Bulls. We don't have the Shaq and Kobe Lakers. We don't have the Kobe Lakers. We don't have the those Spurs teams where you were always because you were always worried, like you were always worried that they could do it any year. You know what I'm saying? Like that could happen. The Heatles teams, we don't have those.
Yeah, there's nobody
even like the Boston, like the 08 Boston team, or like the big three Boston team. Like, you don't even have that. You know what I'm saying?
I think Boston as a team is as close to that as we got right now. Jokic as a player is as close to the player element that we have right now. But you don't feel that way about the Nuggets as a team. You feel like they're very beatable in a 7-game series if you had the right pieces. And the Boston Celtics, like, I don't think Jason Tatum is that. Like, he's really, really good. I don't want to undersell Jason Tatum, but we're talking about, like, we know what it felt like to go up against Bron, or to be on the side of the team that's rooting for Bron, where you have this unending faith, like the same way you would if you had Pat Mahomes or Tom Brady, this unearned confidence, no matter how your regular season has went, that you're going to be all right because you got Bron, right? You got Jordan, you got Pat, you got Tom. I don't think that's how people feel about Jason. Right. It's not. It's a 7-game series. Yeah, Smush Parker out there, but fuck it, we got Kobe and they don't. Right. Like, it's not there. He's a really good player, top 75 player, but I think he's definitely like a below where they stood. Right. As far as like how you perceive them and like the level of consistency that comes there with Jason.
I think what hurts Jason in a lot of people's minds, because I think Jason's great.
I think it might be we've seen him play too early too.
I think it's when Jalen won Finals MVP last year.
Oh, they doing the Steph to him.
Yeah, I think it's that. Like, it's like, nah, you're not like that because you're not even like that on your team, kind of a thing.
Because I always wonder, like, how would I feel about Kobe if I saw Kobe play when he was super young? Because that's a part of it with Jason Tatum. He's been playing meaningful basketball since his rookie year. So he feels a lot older than he is.
Yeah.
So maybe that's part of it, where we're like, we've seen Jason Tatum grow, but so it's hard for us to see him in the light that he might be in. But I don't know. I don't feel, someone said this is an old head conversation. Okay.
Yeah, it really is. It really is like an old head barbershop conversation for real.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing with Jason Tatum is I don't know if I feel that way about him. And that thing that goes back to the point with Pat Beverly is it's true, right? I don't think anybody's like, oh my God, shaking in their boots. We got to play Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell, and Darius Garland. I think every team that plays the Cavs in the playoffs is going to feel like they can beat them, right? Because the Cavs have not done it. And the players on the Cavs have not done it. Like, they're not individually, right? Like, Donovan is not LeBron, obviously, right? So you can feel like you can beat them, but that's kind of how we felt about the Spurs before they became the Spurs. The Warriors, we felt like they were super beatable until they weren't. Right, like
yeah,
3-point shooting team. They live by the three. They die by the three. They don't have a real perimeter threat. It took us like 10 fucking years to give Steph the credit that he's finally earned as a player. And it's like some teams you have early buy-in because they fit the traditional mode, and the Cavs don't fit that. Right, the Cavs don't fit the traditional mode of what a championship contender looked like. So I expect buy-in to be pretty late for NBA players there. But that doesn't mean they can't win at the level that they did, because nobody believed in the Warriors before they did it.
Yeah, so they have to go out and just have to do it.
Yeah,
like,
they got to do it.
They got to go on a deep playoff run. You got to at least, in my mind, you at least got to get to the conference finals.
Hell, nobody thought like both teams, the Spurs too, right? The teams that beat LeBron back to back in those finals. Nobody thought the Kawhi Spurs was going to do it, right? Like we didn't know who Kawhi Leonard was until them playoffs started. Like
they beat them back to back. They lost the first year.
The Heat lost. The Heat won the first year, and then they lost the second year. LeBron left, and then LeBron lost in the finals to Golden State.
Yeah,
I'm saying when LeBron lost back to back.
Oh, I was going to say the Spurs.
I should clarify. LeBron, this is who I was referring to, lost those back to back years. Nobody expected it. Everybody thought that LeBron was going to win the title in 2014. Everybody thought LeBron was going to win the title in 2015.
Yeah,
but
we see what happened. You know what I'm saying?
So we'll see what happens. Not saying the Cavs are those two teams, but those are the two teams that people have said this team reminds them of, right? Like throughout the course of the year. We'll see what happens, right? The Cavs are a new way of doing it. You know, they want people to fear them. They got to do the work to get the fear, right? You know, that's where Boston is. Boston has that respect right now as a team. They've earned it. You know, it's up for the Cavs to make sure that other people fear them, and beating Boston would be how you do that, right? But yeah, I don't think they're feared, but nobody's really feared like that anymore. And I think that's the major point. Is like, if that was the case, if we had a boogeyman reigning on top of the NBA, I would say that's a much stronger point. But there's not. You know, it's pretty open right now.
Go out there and win.
Hey,
that's all you can do.
Hey. And look, when the Cavs play focused basketball, they should be able to easily get to the Eastern Conference Finals. I know some people are worried about it, but I was watching this losing streak, and I was like, this is a team that, how do I put this, Colb? And this is going to make me sound old again. I understand. So whoever called me an old head 10 minutes ago, get ready to warm it up. Put that shit in the comment bar right now. Because the Cavs, they need to be where their feet are, right? Like they aren't where their feet are. You ain't never heard that? Be where your feet are?
No, that's an old head. That's an old head. Say it for
it's a Nick Saban saying that I heard Amari Cooper repeat, but be where your feet are, right? Which is mentally be in the place where you physically are. The Cavs were mentally in April. Physically, they were in the middle of a West Coast trip in March. And
you know what I think was going on, Q?
You think they were partying? I think that's part of it.
Yeah. They was having a good time.
Great time. You're mentally in April, right? Which is like you're thinking about what you're going to do in the playoffs. You're not really sweating these games in March, right? If you're not really sweating these games in March, you know what happens? You let shit happen like, I'm going to let KD get to his spot. Like, that's not going to bite me in the ass at the end of the game if I let KD pretty easily get to his spot. You know, I think that was part of it. They're also going through a horrific shooting slump right now, which coincides with like the worst start times in the NBA. Right, like
they're shooting. I think over their last 10 games, they're shooting like 32% from three.
Yeah, and NBA players seem to be very vocal about this, so I have to imagine it matters. Yeah. But like they complain about tip-offs, right? Like odd tip-off times, they don't like it. Cavs have played a 1:00 tip. NBA players complain about that shit all the time.
And then like 10, and then I think everything else has been 10.
1:30, 10. Coincides with that bad shooting split. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, the best
going to get a nasty Cavaliers once they get like a regular game like at home.
Like they've been the best 3-point shooting team in the league the entire season, and through this like 10-game stretch, which they're 6-4 in this 10-game stretch, by the way. They're like still winning.
They're recently off a 16-game win streak too.
Yeah, and during this 6-4 stretch that includes a 4-game losing streak, they have been the worst 3-point shooting team in the NBA. I don't think that's gonna keep going on. I am a little bit worried about Donovan Mitchell. I feel like he hurt his groin like a couple weeks ago. And since he came back, he hasn't really played to the same level he'd been playing to. I think he's sitting out this game today with like left groin injury management or something like that
for about a month. Just rest him, right? Like, just rest him. I don't even really think you don't need Donovan to really get out the first round, but obviously you want him to play. But, take care of business, right? And then I think you could get Donovan healthy, or it might be he knows there's a hamstring thing. He doesn't want to tweak it. So he's just like, he's a very athletic player. And like I pointed this out, he needs a lot of air on his jumper. So when he takes a gear down, his jumper usually goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they need to just rest him for a little bit. And I think they'll be fine. I
think he's gearing down right now. Darius, we know Darius is streaky, right? Like, what I like about Darius though, he's been just saying fuck it, going to the hoop when his three ain't dropping. He's still shooting the fucking threes, but like,
I do think they've been settling for threes a little bit too much lately.
This is what I'm saying. This doesn't feel like a focused bunch right now because defensively, they're letting guys get to their spots easily when they don't usually let that happen. And then offensively, they've just been like, all right, let's take a three. Like way more often.
It's been like settling. They've been taking like bad threes.
Yeah. And
like, they weren't doing that before. They really weren't.
Yeah. So I think they'll get back. They have some national TV games. Another thing to note, probably the least watched portion of their season coming off the most watched portion of their season, where like the last fucking month they were on ESPN every week. There's a natural letdown, right? Like this shit feels lame right now, right? You just had all this ESPN coverage, all this stuff, and then now, you play it at 10 o'clock in fucking Utah.
They smacked the Jazz too.
They did, easy too. They smacked the Jazz shooting 20% for three.
They came out at halftime. It was like, all right, let's stop.
All right, man, stop fucking around. That's what it felt like. All right, man. We ain't losing no fucking Jazz, okay?
But there was like 5-game losing streak is crazy. Let's get this.
Nah. We not letting Hiram get that off. Like that.
Oh, with the Sexton.
That's what they said at halftime. We not gonna let him get that shit off. No, sir.
Hey, Hiram stayed 10 toes down. Sexton was better than Donovan.
Crazy take. Like usually I think people go after Darius, but Donovan is nuts. That's so crazy.
Man, y'all bringing up Hiram, man. I'm not even gonna say nothing.
Man,
we need to worry about it. We need to worry about them Twitter likes. That's what we need to worry about. We ain't gonna talk about that.
Whoa.
Ooh. Is he a fellow alumni?
No.
Oh, he want to. Yeah, no. You waited too long. You waited too long.
No, I have to think. Like, what is he talking about? I'm like, no.
Oh yeah.
No, I doubt that. No. Hell no.
Okay. It was like you take a long time to say no.
Shout out to the homies to German. She went over there. But anyways, you got anything else to add, Curtis?
No, that's it.
You just chilling?
Yo, whoa. Yeah. What I'll be doing.
But yeah, man, they did that thing that good teams do where they're like, all right, man, we're not going to fucking lose. Like, this is enough, right? They tried to do it to their credit the night before, but it was much too late, and that team had Kevin Durant on it.
Yeah.
And they let Kevin get to his fucking spot all game. So when they started playing defense, he was making them shit. Can we talk about, because I heard Tony talk about this, I thought he made a great point. Why are people acting like Evan's not a good defender? Like, they're painting him being pulled out to the perimeter like it's not about them just trying to take advantage of the Cavs not having an extra big out there.
He's a good defender. I don't know why people... I don't know where this guy from.
He's been the top 3 defender in the league all season. And because Draymond Green said he wants another defensive player of the year.
I want another defensive player of the year.
Now all of a sudden he's not a good defender anymore, bro. Like it's fucking stupid.
They just update the odds for the Depoy Award right now. I'm on FanDuel, so because as it stands right now,
there is a traditional name.
Draymond is minus 145 as the favorite, and Evan Mobley is plus 120.
They're always going to lean towards because they did that shit with TJ Watt all last year
for
defensive player of the year, and we knew goddamn well TJ Watt was going to win it.
Like the fact that Draymond's favorite to win it now because he said something is stupid. That's so dumb to me, bro.
Let me tell you who are the last people to ever give Draymond a legacy award: the media. Like, he's not going to get it. But yeah, it's kind of crazy that people are trying to like act like Draymond at this point is a better defender than Evan Mobley.
It's funny. Like, did you watch those? Warriors Cavs games?
Yeah,
Evan fucking terrorizing Draymond.
Yeah, that brother in hell.
Where Tim Bontemp was talking about like, oh yeah, Evan got cooked by KD. I'm like, there's like a SWAT in there. Like, yeah, he got by him. He's Kevin fucking Durant. Like he got a couple shots off on him, but it's KD. He was cooking that night. Like the same thing happened, I think, with Kawhi, and it's like Kawhi looked like Kawhi that night. Like it was just what it was. Like he looked like the dude who was inevitably going to get 30. So I think it's a combination too that the Cavs kind of got some bad draws. They got the Clippers the one game they're healthy. Like that was just unfortunate.
Come on, man.
But yeah, and then I think they didn't really take those games as seriously as they should have. Because I don't think they're going to get the 1 overall seed anymore. They're 2 games back of Oklahoma City.
Yeah, they're not going to get the number 1 overall seed anymore.
But they're still going to get the 1 seed in the East. My thing with the Cavs.
Where are the Warriors even at the standings? Are they in the top 4?
They in the play-in still, right?
I'm about to see.
I'm about to check.
They are 6.
Oh, so they're just out the play-in.
The Clippers are 1 game back in the loss column, and the Timberwolves are 2 games back in the loss column.
What's going to happen in the West?
It's rough out there, bro.
Let me tell you something. Healthy Clippers, though, like I don't want that if I'm the Thunder. Like, they got Zubac.
Bro, I'm gonna be real. They don't have an easy. They don't have an easy draw first round.
Yeah, because they're gonna get the Lakers after that.
Like you're either gonna get healthy Clippers, healthy Timberwolves, or new healthy Warriors.
No, you want to fall into that 2 seed bracket with the Rockets.
they too far ahead. That's done. Yeah. They way too far ahead for that.
Yeah, because like right now it's like what you might play. You know, if you're lucky, you get the Timberwolves. Still not an easy team. They were a Western Conference Finals team. Hey Curtis, can you mute the mic because we're getting too much ambient noise from you?
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you're good.
Bro, the Timberwolves just got healthy too. Yeah. So you're not even really you're not trying to play them. You're not really trying to play them in a series either.
Like the Suns would be I don't want to play KD in the first round, but you could beat them,
bro. I don't think that because you got to think. So one of the Clippers and the Timberwolves, they're for sure making the playoffs because they got to play each other. Somebody got to win that game. Mm-hmm. So you staring at. Like, obviously, you would rather play like Sacramento or Phoenix than play Minnesota or the Clippers, but you probably gonna end up playing one of the Clippers or Timberwolves.
Ooh, the healthy Clippers team.
Like and I don't think they want to play the Timberwolves because the Timberwolves are the only team in the West who's really like played them like super tough. Them and the Warriors. Like God forbid you end up getting the Warriors in the first round. Because you know some bullshit. Because you know some bullshit gonna happen in that series. Like if we got Thunder Warriors first round, I think the Warriors will beat them.
Who the Clippers get the Rockets in the first round?
They're 100% going to beat the Rockets.
It's a wrap. Yeah, and then what? It'll be Clippers Nuggets. I'll take the Nuggets over that. You get Thunder, Timberwolves. I just don't believe in the state of Minnesota. I'm just fucking with
I'm about to say you don't believe in Minnesota at all. So that is.
But I would not take the Thunder over the Lakers just for like that's where LeBron pulls the one series out of his ass that he still got left at age fucking 40. And like a random Luka 50 ball. That's it. Because the thing with the Thunder is like, I think that's what they're going to be the narrative about them, right? Is the narrative is about them right now is they don't have enough firepower. Because they only got one guy who can really like get his own shot at will.
Well, they got two. Because Jalen Williams can do it too. But I kind of don't believe in Jalen Williams like I believe in SGA.
Yeah, it's like they got one star that can get their own shot. They got a good role player that can get their own shot.
Their defense is crazy though. Like, and that's kind of what they're hanging their hat on. Like they've been the best defensive team in the league all year.
Here's the thing, man. You throw a great defense at LeBron James and Luka, they're gonna figure that shit out.
They could just ISO you to death.
Between Luka, JJ Redick, and LeBron, they're gonna figure something out. Like, especially with JJ Redick actually listening to LeBron and Luka, you are not gonna do anything that includes you out strategizing LeBron James at age 40.
I also want to see, I really want to see them play the Timberwolves because I think those are two really good defensive teams.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if the Thunder could pull that out if the games get really ugly.
See, so what? I have Lakers, Nuggets, conference finals, and I probably take the Nuggets. Jokic versus the Lakers is just different.
I ain't gonna lie. If we get Lakers Nuggets again this time, Western Conference Finals, I think the Lakers gonna win.
You think so?
Yeah, Luka go bust that ass.
I have no doubt Luka gonna get buckets. Who's gonna stop Jokic?
Listen, I just gotta pray. I gotta pray he's off.
Jokic went against the Olympic team and got buckets. Like with nothing but dudes from Serbia on his squad. Like,
hey, you know what really cooked us?
Then AD checked in and he was like, food.
AD not here no more. You know what really cooked us? What really cooked us though was Jamal Murray.
Yeah,
just absolutely frying D'Angelo Russell every game.
That is true.
Just dog walking D'Lo every single time. I'm like, bro, we can't beat these dudes with him out there, dog. We can't do it. Austin over here getting buckets, LeBron getting buckets, and then here we go. We got D'Angelo Russell doing absolutely nothing on offense,
right?
And getting fried on defense.
It's just something when he see them gold jerseys, dog. When Jokic see them gold jerseys, when he sees LeBron James specifically,
I don't know what it is.
This man turns into somebody else. Okay,
it's because of the bubble. He ain't never let it go.
Something happened. But yeah, man, y'all ain't got no center, and Jokic gonna be out. Yeah.
Hold on. Don't you disrespect Jackson Hayes like that,
dude. Jackson Hayes, you gonna throw Jackson Hayes at fucking Jokic?
That's all we got.
Jackson Hayes.
That's all we got.
Wasn't he the other first round pick in the Zion draft? Nah. I'm sorry, Cove. I'm sorry. It's gonna be Jokic.
So, Deanna Rossini on the 49ers, possibly trading Brandon Aiyuk before the April 1st payday. I don't get the sense that it's a reality. I'm sure the 49ers would like to trade Brandon because of the finances. We'll see what happens with this. I don't expect anything. She did say they would like to trade him because of the finances.
What that sounds like to me is that the Browns ain't going to do this unless the price is right. Because they want to trade him, but you don't think it's going to get done. Andrew going to do that thing where he's going to wait for the price to get right.
That's what he always does.
Yeah. I was talking to this with my guy Trey. Because he was like, I wonder how long this game's going to last. I'm like, you playing that game with Andrew Berry, bro. They both going to wait. Like Terry and Barry, like they both going to wait. This is the dude who drafted Michael Penix without telling anybody versus Andrew Berry, who looked dead in Myles Garrett's eyes. It was like, No.
We're gonna be here all day.
Yeah, bruh. Hey, look, you ain't even the only thing he waited on. He waited on that. Kirk Cousins. He like, yeah, my team might be together by June. Good thing the first game's in September.
I think the 49ers are waiting to see if they can get a better offer.
Yeah.
And when that better offer don't come, they'll be like, okay.
That's when Andrew's like, all right, man, come on, talk to me, brother. Come on, talk to me. Right. Just like with the Kirk thing, people were like, they're gonna rush for a trade. Not the price ain't right. Like Atlanta gonna have to eat a lot of that money.
Like 90% of it.
Yeah.
Like you gonna have to eat most of that.
Hey, this is the dude who waited until like July to trade Baker Mayfield. Okay? Like when it was obvious since March, they got to do something with him.
Like he's not losing sleep over any of this.
Nah, he's waiting. So yeah, hey, look, hey, if I could tell y'all one thing I've learned from covering Andrew Berry over the last few years, that motherfucker will wait. And like, don't just think that's just for this offseason. If you don't want to do it this offseason,
he'll do it next
we'll
offseason.
check back. That is a patient man. Sometimes to his own detriment, but that man patient. Okay.
Spin the block, Barry.
Yeah.
Spin the block, Barry. You gonna spin that block.
He'll be back.
Don't spin it. Don't spin it.
He'll be back.
Andrew Berry enjoys stakeouts.
And the thing about this one in particular is that he knows that the 49ers do not want to pay him.
Hmm?
Like the 49ers don't want to pay him. They don't want to give him that money.
It's like, brother, we might start Kenny Pickett this year. We could do that with or without Brandon Aiyuk. Okay.
He's not worried. He's not worried about that at all. Not at all. Not even a little bit.
Spin the block Berry is a real thing. Andrew will wait. He very rarely is rushed into a decision. Can we get the super chats up?
Yeah, we can get to them.
We got like
start
20.
Yeah, we got a lot of them. We got a lot of them. This first one is from Akalon. He says, if we draft a QB in round 1, however it happens, we have to commit to him for multiple years. Is it at all possible we still draft QB next year after? If you draft, because if you draft a QB in the first round, you're committed to him for at least 2 years.
At least 2 years.
I think late first round's a little different. Right. If you take somebody late first, if the 1 year is especially bad, you can give up.
They have to be god awful for that to happen. Like they have to show you no flashes at all whatsoever.
Like if it's what's homeboy Paxton Lynch. If it looks Paxton Lynch bad, all right, man, move on. Like
they didn't even move on. They didn't draft a quarterback in the first round that next year with Paxton Lynch. It's happened one time this millennium, and that's the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
Took Josh Rosen 10th, came back next year to Kyler Murray first. It's the only time
saying that it can happen if you draft a guy in the late 20s. If it happens again, it's not likely, but if you draft somebody in the late, let's say you draft Milrose's like inexplicably awful, and you decide we're gonna re-up again, I don't think it'd be the craziest thing in the world to do, right? If it's a late first, early first, yeah, you kind of have no other choice but to wait it out, right? Like the same way they had no other choice but to wait it out with Jed.
Like the Jets took Zach Wilson number 2 overall. He was obviously bad. He got what, 3 seasons?
He got 2. Then they brought in Aaron. Aaron got hurt, and then he got another season. So 3.
He got 3 seasons before they were like, nah, this is not gonna work.
Like whoever takes Cam Ward is gonna have to be locked in for 2-3 years.
3, really, because it's the number 1 overall pick. Like you gonna get like 3 years.
Whew. Hey man, imagine if you got the opportunity to take DJ Lagway, but you like, nah, we got to get a wide receiver for Cam Ward.
It is what it is. What's next, Curtis?
All right, the next one is from Akalon. This is an anime one. Q probably gonna be pissed about it. Also, no, we not. Also, Cole been following your post about Naruto. Thank you for pointing out that Sasuke is just an aura farming merchant like Piccolo. And
listen, man, did you just say aura?
Aura
no,
farming
you know my ass all day, and then he say aura, but because it's anime, you know what?
If you watched anime, I wouldn't care so much. But like, listen, man, like Sasuke is the most overrated character in the entire show. He's not even my favorite Uchiha. He gets lucky in everything. The only fight he didn't get lucky was Deidara. Every other fight he got lucky as shit.
So you mean to tell me
halfway dead?
That Sasuke is like the Kansas City Chiefs? Like he gets lucky in every fight, he gets bailed out.
What's the next question?
I don't know if he's like the Kansas City Chiefs, but
maybe like the Pittsburgh Steelers. He got that, devil magic. I don't know.
Listen, this is what it is, bro. Like Orochimaru was already half dead. Itachi had no intention of actually killing him at all. If he did, he would have died. Like he gets lucky all the time, and Naruto's stronger than him like the entire show.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, I don't have like major beef with Sasuke. I think he's cool. He ain't like that dude because when I see him get his ass beat a couple times, I'm like,
Hey, can we talk about how B almost killed him?
No, we cannot talk about that. Let's go. Next question.
He got so mad. No, he got so mad.
Hey, if we had JP on, if we had JP.
Oh, yeah, if we had JP on, you'd be miserable right now.
JP ain't here.
We gonna find a way. Don't worry. We found a way.
And Itachi's way better, but let's go to the next one.
Yeah. This next one is from Rex Fortune. My gut feeling says Jed Wills ends up in Florida. If he ends up in Jacksonville, will JP have an open invite to come here and vent?
Oh, absolutely. He always has an open invite to come and vent.
But I don't think that Jed Wills is like the worst tackle in the world. He's just average. I've seen fair share of bad tackle play. He's just average.
Jed Wills is not the worst tackle in the world. You are correct on that. Jed Wills, though, is the exact kind of player on the offensive line that pisses everybody off. Because it's never the dude who's the worst that pisses you off. It's the dude who you feel like could be so much better and chooses not to, that pisses you off. And Jed do all the stuff that'll piss you off. Just standing there, I think it's beat, holds a lot, specifically on run plays. Has horrible luck with it too, because sometimes he pop off like a 10-yarder, holding 71. And then like he got a stank attitude, which makes it all worse. Right? Like, and then he start arguing with fans. Yeah, man, Jed he's not going to piss you off that first year if you got no expectations for him, but the second you have expectations for Jed, that's when it goes off the rails.
Yeah.
If you like that. This is another one from Rex Fortune. Q, any chance we can get you on Cleveland Browns Daily to talk sense to Zagura? I usually like that show, but the QB obsession is getting stale because your arguments beat his, in my opinion.
He will. They're not going to have you on there. They are in full sell the quarterback mode. They're not about to bring my non-quarterback selling ass on there to talk about anything. So, I respect the work that Nathan does. I think he's really good on the commentary team too.
Yeah, I have no problem with it.
Yeah,
another one from Rex.
It's not like no, I'm just playing.
It's not the worst, but Rex has another one. I'm all in on Carter at 2, Miles at the 5, Carter at the 9, Alex Wright at 3 tech with Hall at the 5, plus accounting for JOK and Delpit. Offenses will have Fitz dealing with that.
Dog, I had one of these mock drafts. I went Abdul Carter, and then I got Darius Alexander at 33. I was just like, so we just rushing. Well, yeah. Then here's the thing about Abdul and Miles. They move, right? They can move along the line of scrimmage. So you're not married to putting them in one position, which is why I thought the 3-4-4-3 conversation about specifically him was a silly one. Where like it don't matter what defense Abdul and he gonna play along the line of scrimmage, and he might even get a couple of snaps as a stand-up linebacker.
All right, we got
all that munching in the mic.
Yeah, like what does that sound?
Yeah.
Oh, hiding.
No, we can absolutely hear
it. My man, say something.
having a good old time.
Like, damn, is it that good? Is it that good?
It's good, ain't it?
I had to deal with y'all talking about like 14 layers of fucking anime. Y'all gonna live with me having a little bit of a snack. Okay.
We think about everybody else. You talk about
I'm thinking about everybody else, man. You know, how many people know what Itachi is or whatever the fuck y'all
Can't
talking about?
the name right.
Itachi, Sasuke,
you saw them
on.
You saw them comments when we came
I
in here.
saw 3 people commented. Okay, it was 100-some people in here. It was 3 people talking anime. Now y'all like everybody was talking anime. It was 3 people. Got all these football super chats and y'all talking about anime.
We had an anime one. What's going on?
We're gonna find a way to sneak it in. Might as well embrace it.
Oh Lord.
This one is from Ray Rags. Drafting Tyler Show at 2 would be like drafting Anthony Bennett at 1 if he was in the 2017 draft.
That would be so much worse than taking Anthony Bennett at 1, because at least Anthony Bennett was a first-round prospect that year. That'd be like taking fucking me or you number 2 overall. That's what it'd be. It'd just be so random and beyond the pale. It would be like, what's the worst pick I could think of? What's that dude, the Raiders, Cleveland Farrell? It'd be the worst pick since Cleveland Farrell. Okay.
Everybody was like, what?
Oh. What? That would be a god awful pick.
That was funny.
All right, another one from Ray Rags. So the delusional people's voice in Q's mind is Pat Mahomes. Got it.
That wasn't a Pat Mahomes voice.
Hey, just go to the next one, dog. Just go to
that wasn't a Pat Mahomes voice. I'm not going to do it, but that wasn't a Pat Mahomes voice.
Yeah, all right. This one is from Iceman the Boss. Drafting QB is like buying a Chrysler 3000 for phantom prices, period. Also, y'all see Dion's RAS. Put an ice cream cone next to it. I don't know.
Dion Walker. Because Q was talking about him on the last 5. He was like, ooh, I think I might want to do that. And the Iceman the Boss said he got a
ice cream cone body.
Hey, the RAS backs it up, Iceman. He was right about that. You know,
I remember
like 3 or something.
Him. I was like, I need to see what the swag like. Bro has no aura.
Next.
Oh,
hey,
man.
You see how I get up and leave?
All right, next one is from Ray Rags. I know it's a different position, but a great example of someone who's big, but it doesn't matter. Chase Claypool was 6'4", 238, but you never think it with the way he couldn't catch a 50-50 ball consistently to save his life.
Yeah, man. People get too way too invested in just measurements.
I always say this with wide receivers and anybody really, because like I remember people getting on my ass. So I was like, Marvin Mims is the best 50-50 ball guy that you could get in the second round that year. And a lot of people were like mad because he was short. I'm like, he's got ball skills. Like none of these other dudes who were tall that year had ball skills. I mean, it ended up being true, even though they don't really give him the ball there, but he's a deep ball 50-50 threat punt return guy now in the NFL. But yeah, it's how you play matters, right? Like, do you play undersized? Do you play oversized? Like, do you play bigger than you are? Zay Flowers is a big example of this, right? Zay Flowers is like 5'8". It don't matter. He played big. So and the Ravens have had plenty of tall receivers that play short. What's his name? Brashad Perriman? Remember him? Sorry ass. Can't get nothing. Can't stretch nothing. It's like, okay. People get so caught up in this side, like even like Cedric Tillman at times, he doesn't ever extend the catch. He's a body catcher. That means that his 6'2" is worthless. So it's like, does he play big? Does he play small? I've never watched Abdul Carter pass rush and thought to myself, man, he's getting bullied out there. Which is impressive because he just started playing the position.
Another one is from Ray Rags. Go as Ohio State's O-line and RBs who cooked all playoffs. If Mason Graham is undersized, they literally couldn't do shit against him.
Listen, if anybody thinks that Mason Graham's not going to be good in the NFL, just please watch that Ohio State game. Please, please go back and watch it.
if you cheer for the Ohio State Buckeyes, you have to shut the fuck up about Mason Graham. I'm sorry.
Hey,
I'm not hearing
hey
this
man,
from y'all.
you know what the crazy thing is? It's usually people like the Ohio State fans who are also Browns fans who are like, nah, Mason Graham's great.
Yeah. My dad, big as a Buckeye fan as you could get, he was like, nah, Carter's the guy. Abdul Carter is the dude. You take that guy. That guy's good. Like, he wasn't worried about no goddamn size, nothing. He was like, nah, I've seen that man. Like, he don't like, he still got beef with Joe Burrow to this day. That's how much of an Ohio State fan my dad is. He's like, Joe Burrow really ain't beat nobody. Like, to this day. To this day, he will talk crazy about Joe Burrow. He ain't got shit to say about no Abdul Carter. Okay, like
that's how I feel about Mason Graham. Like if Browns traded back, I'm like, you can take that man. Please take that man.
Hey, I got no problem with that with Mason Graham. Right? Like,
no problem with that.
Same record. 2 years in a row. Did it in the national championship and did it against Ohio State. It is big time player right there.
Yeah. All right. Next one is from Caleb. Yeah, I watched Abdul bend around Donovan Jackson twice for sacks, and the Bucs didn't leave him alone all game.
He did the ghost to Donovan, didn't he? Did he ghost him?
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Donovan was sitting there looking.
He was whipping ass, and then he just started playing. Like, all right, let me try this.
Like he's that dude, bro. He's that dude.
Yes. Anybody doubting his college production, I mean, like, you just gotta seriously evaluate whether they know what they're talking about. Because, like, there's a question with Abdul, but like acting as if Abdul is this undersized guy who got pushed around at Penn State is just not accurate. At no point. And this man been productive every year of his career at Penn State. He got highlights on CJ Stroud.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle McCord, he got all the Ohio State guys.
Listen, bro, he's a real pass rusher. Yeah. Like, real deal pass rusher.
And think about it like this. You get Abdul Carter, we never had to see no bullshit like Myles Garrett drop back in coverage again.
You could drop Abdul in coverage.
Would it be a waste? It would kind of be a waste. He's so much better of a, but he's not a bad coverage guy either. Like, he's fine. Yeah, I'm fine with the pick, man. Like, we can write that card in today. Like, what?
All right, next one is from Ray Rags.
Do that shit like I do Instacart, where it's like, if they ain't got Abdul Carter, give me Travis Hunter. Okay, like,
literally, it's very simple. True.
They ain't got purple Gatorade, give me blue. Okay, like, I'm good. Like, what?
All right, next one. Lawrence Taylor never had less than 5 sacks in a season. In that year, he was 34 and only played in 9 games. This dude was insane when he played 16. He never had less than 9. He had 15 and a half and 12. But to these people, he's undersized.
Yeah, somebody would have legitimately not wanted to draft Lawrence Taylor. Yeah, he's productive and all, but man, can he play in a 4-3? Where do you put him? Is he just going to be Ogbo Okarawa to slap the shit out of Tony Grossi when he said that on air? I was like, what in the world is wrong with you? You are paid to talk about this, and you going to come out there and compare him to people are like, well, how is he not different than Ogbo Okarawa? He's 6'3" and 250 pounds. They're the same size. I'm like, they're completely different athletes. Like, what are we talking about?
Funniest part about this entire conversation is Andrew Berry already came out and said that he is not undersized. I was like,
the fuck are you talking about?
He said it at the combine when they asked about him. He's like, no, he's not undersized at all.
Yeah, he's good. Okay, that's what?
It's just funny. It's just funny.
I want to know if they're aware of the goofy shit that gets passed around in like the fan media space. Like
they are
in front offices, because like I bet they just be like, what? Like,
Andrew Berry 100% knows.
That's crazy, bro. People are really like keying in on this man being 6'3". 6'3". Hey, like he ain't even 6 foot. Usually you start bugging out about an edge if he's 6 foot or something like that. He's 6'3".
I don't know.
And the only reason you care about the height is you want to make sure the arms is long. This ain't basketball. He ain't got a rim protect. Who gives a fuck if he's 6'6"? Like,
yeah, man. What's the next one, Curtis?
Next one. Next one is from Caleb. Draft Abdul. If we can't have a good QB, we're gonna put yours in hell.
That's
real simple. Yeah. Real simple.
Let me tell. Let's ask you a question, Curtis. You try to block Abdul?
Hell no. I'm trying to block him.
Does it matter that he's 6'3"?
No. That dude's nice.
Like what?
That dude's nice. All you need to know.
Yeah, 6'3". Whatever. I want to know what people said about Von Miller before he was drafted. Like, did it get this nasty about Von?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
It's one fan base on Twitter that thinks Abdul Carter's undersized.
And it's the one in Northeast Ohio. What a
one fan base. One fan base.
We got some problems. Like, it's not like it's not people telling you, man, like, hey, this guy's good. This is why. Somebody accused me of lying about Abdul Carter being good to like fit some kind of conspiracy, and then said I haven't done a film breakdown. I was like, brother, there's like 3 film breakdowns of Abdul Carter on my channel right now. I like broke down like every game of his last year of college. Like, what are you doing? It's getting crazy. Let's get to the next question.
Yeah. Next one is from Ray Rags. LeVar Arrington has one of the greatest highlights I've ever seen. The man jumped over the line and tackled the running back as he got the handoff.
Crazy.
Now you got 2 dudes who can do that. If you draft Abdul Carter. Could you imagine them sending a fake where they like, oh, Miles going to jump over the pile, and it's just Abdul doing it?
People are denying themselves like just some awesome, crazy shit happening on defense
for a nasty season of y'all really didn't want to draft this motherfucker tweets. Like, whether he on the Browns or not, people are just gonna be like, "Oh, Abdul Carter has 12 sacks. Well, guess he's fine." Like,
all right,
if Will Anderson was worth it, and they traded a first-round pick for him. If you take Abdul Carter at 2 and he just ends up being Will Anderson,
worth it.
What?
Worth it? It's worth it. Like,
what?
It's worth it.
Man, y'all tripping. Y'all tripping on this one, dog. This is why I just gotta tell the internet, all right, bro. Like, my bad, Curtis.
All right, next one is from Iceman the Boss. Ashamed to say I wanted Mitch in 17 before the combine.
I'm gonna just assume you was young, you know.
Hey, we all got takes. Everybody got takes.
We all got takes we want back.
Yeah, we all got takes like that.
Look, my first year doing this full time, I was on the Kyler Murray is better than Lamar train. That ended poorly. The year he won the MVP, like, that ended poorly. We all got takes we want back. We all got takes that people won't forget. Let us forget that we had.
Hey, at least you open and honest about it. Most people don't do that.
Yeah, people talk shit. Every time I say I like a player to draft, well, you like Perion Winfrey? I'm like, okay, damn. Like, I like J.O.K. too. Perion what position? Like, Perion Winfrey. They on my ass about Perion, bro. To this day.
Hey, I'll leave Perion alone. He got a big game coming up this Sunday.
I'm about to say, bro, like what Birmingham Stallions, they about to do it, you know. And look, Perion resurgence. I'm not rooting for it, you know, because of the stuff Perion's done, but I would like it if he could get back to the NFL so people could stop throwing that shit in my face. Okay, like.
What's the next one, Curtis?
Yeah, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good night. Good
I
Lord.
want to know if Bo Nick's going to regress because people started to use that one against me. I'm like, let's wait.
Shout out everybody for the super chats, by the way. We appreciate it.
Golly, we got 10 left. Jesus.
Hey, y'all got paid.
I love it. I love it.
Let's go.
All right. Yeah, Cole, this one from Ray Rags again. Cole, if Penn State didn't decide to run the same motion 3 times in a row at the goal line, they had a chance. But Ohio State did hold them to only 3 points outside that pick six.
The defense did absolutely everything they were supposed to do in that game. That was before the Michigan game. That was the worst game I saw Will Howard play. But Drew Allard just Ooh, he had no intention of winning that football game.
Bro, Drew Aller and Cam Ward got the same game management issues, but one's 21, the other one's 23.
I ain't even trying to get into that, man. I ain't even trying to get into that.
I'm just shocked that we're here with Cam Ward, man. Like, I am just surprised. I was like, man, Shedeur must be like 180 behind the scenes or something like that, because, like, I don't know. We'll see.
All right, next one is from Ray Rags again. Think of all the Pierre Strong checkdowns from Kirk. Pierre Strong's not even on the team anymore.
I'm about to say no. Travion Henderson, Bishul student.
That's where you on now?
Trevor Etienne, literally throw that bitch to RJ Harvey. Okay, like
there's so many good running backs in this draft. There's so many. Please draft 2. That's what we should. That's what Browns Twitter should be talking about. What 2 running backs do you want them to draft? That's what we should talk about.
I've been on that the 2 running back conversation, the 2 tight end conversation. That's what I've been on this whole offseason.
Tell me what talk about damn quarterback.
I might tweet that out. Hey, it's like Browns fans. Tell me what 2 running backs you want us to draft. Let's talk about the important things here.
You'll get quote tweeted. Bro doesn't even know his team doesn't have a quarterback.
I mean, they got 10 draft picks.
I saw Nick Carnes got off the quarterback thing. I was like, all right, we making progress.
No, he's gonna flip flop like always.
He gonna flip flop to back to quarterback. Like Shedor's pro day. He's gonna jump on to Shedeur.
Yeah, I already know. He got the tweets loaded up anyway.
Yeah, he's gonna be like Shedeur Sanders, game time player, national appeal. Like he gonna write one of them poems. It's gonna go crazy on Twitter too, bro.
I need the Giants to trade up, man. I do not want that man in Cleveland. It will literally make my head hurt.
Who, Cam Ward or Shedeur?
Shedeur. I don't have no ill will towards Shedeur, but the way people talk about this man, like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, wait till the Browns draft him at 27.
Are people willing to like accept that they're probably not going to take him at 2 yet, or are we still fighting that?
Or the fact that he doesn't want to be here?
Sports talk radio is going to be fun after the Browns make their selection. Like,
funniest thing the Browns could do is like a small trade back to 3 and let the Giants take him at 2.
And then everyone freaks out. And I'm like, fine.
Funniest thing they could do.
I can't believe it. What if he's good? Like it's gonna be nothing but that. What if he's good? Like, what if the guy we drafted's good? Then it don't fucking matter.
What if he sucks?
This is the crazy thing, Cole. That is the more likely scenario for both of them. Okay, like we talking about it like we drafted Andrew Luck at the top of this draft, dog. I'm like, oh man, these guys are much more in the likely to be bad category than the likely to be good. Which kind of bad you want? The kind of bad that make you pull your hair out during the game, or the kind of bad that people just hype up? Like, which flavor of it you want? I wouldn't have drafted that too. We got the next one. It's 2 flavors of the same shit. Because if it's your door, you know what it's gonna be. He gonna do 1 200-yard game. People gonna hype that shit up to the moon. It's gonna be Baker Mayfield on steroids.
Oh my god!
And then anytime you had a criticism, oh boy, you already know the dumb shit you're gonna have to deal with. You already know. Because remember what the pushback was like on Baker? It's gonna be the same. It's gonna be the same, dog. Cam Ward? Oh, we ain't gonna have to argue about that. Everybody gonna know, but we gonna be mad as hell watching it. I can't believe he threw that. Yeah, I can. What? I watch his tape. Then you gonna be sitting there like this, Curtis. You like, I told them.
I'm just gonna change the channel.
What you gonna change it to? Watch Sam Darnold do the same fucking thing, Curtis?
I'll go outside. I'm going to spin the block on some people.
You like football too much, dog. You're not about to just not watch football on Sunday.
I watch the Canadian League. I ain't gonna put myself through that.
You watch the Canadian? Don't they play on Saturdays?
They when NFL starts, they play on like Saturdays. Yeah, Saturdays like
you got no solace. You got no solace.
I found a way. I always do.
You're gonna be sitting there praying for Kenny Pickett. Next one.
Thoughts on the Mecca? Is he a possibility? I don't.
At what pick? 33?
I haven't heard anything.
33. I think he like. Let's be honest. He should go in the first round. He should be a first round pick. If he's there at 33, like that's tempting to me. If they don't take Travis.
Do you think there's too much overlap with him and Judy though?
I don't actually. I don't. You think there's too much overlap? You think they play too similarly?
From what I've seen, but I'll be fair. All I've seen from Ibuka is from watching Will Howard tape. So I wasn't super focused on him. But he seems like a guy you want to get the ball into their hands early because he's super explosive as an athlete. I don't know. I think there's a lot of overlap with him and Judy, how you would want to use him. Him, Judy, and David. There's too much overlap for him to have a lane there. Unless he wants to go downfield a ton.
He's so good. He's so good to me.
Yeah. I think the wide receiver that makes the most sense is Travis Hunter. The defensive back that makes the most sense for the Browns is also Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter. Yeah, yeah.
Because Travis can go downfield. He got them ball skills too. He's like Elijah Moore, but taller, stronger, and better tracking the ball, which is exactly what they want Elijah Moore to be.
So it's like if they don't take, like if they go Abdul, if they take a wide receiver later, you're probably looking at like Aiyuk.
I think Aiyuk is like square on their radar.
I think Aiyuk. You talking about Aiyuk, maybe Jaden Higgins,
Kyle Williams,
Ty Felton, maybe.
Just basically do this. If they're under 22, they're under 6 foot, and they can run good routes, they're on the Browns' radar.
Yeah, pretty much. Matthew Golden.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's on the radar. Yeah. We'll see what they do. We'll see what they end up doing.
What's your boy Savion? He ain't on the radar.
No, Savion is not on the radar. He's not on the radar.
We got the next question.
Yeah, next one is from Ray Rag again.
He dropping 20 bombs too.
No, shout out Ray Rags, man.
Yeah, dang.
I'm about to say we have been dropped. I feel like this must have been what it's like to stream during the pandemic when them PPP loans was coming in. Everybody was just sharing the wealth.
Anyway,
my most financially successful stream was the Browns' playoff victory over the Steelers.
Yeah, Ray Rag says, I feel like at some point the NFL will get the idea, maybe don't trade a wide receiver to the Browns because they will lose that trade almost every time. It's like trading with the guards. You'll probably lose that trade. And I wouldn't go that far with the Guardians, but
Curtis, like, do you got beef with the Guardians?
I just don't get why people gas them up. I know what a good baseball team is. They're all right, I guess.
Curtis, man, don't you want to take joy where you could get it right now?
I'll take joy. You know what? I will take joy if we get Abdul Carter in this upcoming draft. I might do a crip walk on stream. You never know.
You crip walk on stream, but you can't be happy for a 90-win baseball team.
Cool, 90 wins. Cool, man. We get 90 wins. We ain't gonna beat the Yankees. We ain't gonna beat Shohei and them. I ain't moved by that.
Wow, you sound like the people who like do the stuff against the Cavs. We ain't gonna beat the Celtics.
I ain't like that now.
Man,
damn, bro.
That's literally what you just did.
That's 100% what you just did, Curtis. 100% what you just did.
Fair.
You just not like baseball? Like, it's just okay to not like. That's why I don't watch.
It's just I don't have that faith that everyone else does.
Who do you not like that loves the Guardians?
I respect Jose. It's just the team I don't have much faith in.
Yeah, they can be a fun squad though. They got to be team you get championship hopes about. Colb ain't thinking about no fucking championships after the playoffs last year. He's just like, I hope we have fun.
Okay, we have.
Listen, I am a Guardians enjoyer. That's it. It don't gotta be more complicated.
Colb just wants some fun shit to watch in the background while he had Dave and Buster's. That's what he wants. Okay, like. Keep track of it. Okay, we up 7-3. Good day.
Listen, man, we're gonna get through the draft, and you got that period. You got that period of the year where ain't nothing on but baseball. I be enjoying it.
I like to go to the UFL games. That's what I like to do.
I like to go to the baseball games because the baseball games be fun.
You go to the UFL game with $80, brother, you live like a king.
We need some UFL football closer to Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't we had the USFL for 2 years.
Yeah, but they played in Canton. None of the teams was Canton, though. It was like Pittsburgh was playing in Canton.
I only went to the championship the first year. That was it. And it was for free.
I went to the Birmingham Stallions game last year. That was pretty fun. $80. Sat right in the front. Got club seats. It's great.
It's great.
Great. I had a good ass. That was a good game. They played the Battlehawks. AJ McCarron's return to Alabama. Came down to the last minute.
All right, another one from Ray Rags. People forget that PG was almost traded to the Cavs. Kevin Love to the Nuggets. Gary Harrison pick 13 to the Pacers. Paul George to the Cavs.
Yeah, the Pacers was hating.
That's basically
no, I don't blame them for doing that because you trade with a team that's in your division, and they was like, "Nah, we ain't doing that. We got to play Paul George, and then we got to play Paul George 4 times every year. Nah, we good."
And then you take away the best Paul George antidote, like you fuse him with the guy that stops Paul George.
Like, come on, what are we doing?
Paul George in Cleveland would have been interesting.
That would have been fun. It would have made 2018 way more fun.
I wonder if that changes how Paul George is perceived. Because, like, as somebody who remembers number 24 Paul George and how we talked about him, man, how we do this number 13 dude is crazy.
Man, Paul George before the injury, because he had the crazy injury before then. Man, I thought he was next.
Yeah, it's nuts because I just go on like NBA YouTube and it's just nonstop Paul George jokes. Talk about his podcast, talk about how many game winners been hit over him. I'm like, damn, man, Paul George was the man in 2013. Like, what? It's crazy.
All right, the next one's from Ray Rags. AB loves himself a nice game of chicken.
I feel like he do that shit for the love of the game.
For real.
He always end up in a standoff for no fucking reason. We did that shit with David Njoku too. That was the first thing he did when he got here. Oh, David Njoku want to leave? No. Anybody else want to leave? Like, Baker? Okay. Was that the same all season? No, it was the off season before.
No.
It was 2021. Yeah. Baker was 2022.
All right, the next one is from Soul Train. If the Browns get Eman and Worry, could you see them playing Hikmet, Delpit, and Nick together since he can play linebacker too, especially if JOK is out early?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely against the Ravens. You just have Grant Delpit on one side, Nick on the other side. and then hopefully you got JOK back to patrol the middle, and that's just going to be, all right, man, hope you don't fuck us over. Like, that's your plan for Lamar. Hope we can grab him.
All right, another one from Soul Train. I like Abdul's versatility. He can play strong linebacker at times. So,
what would he play? He would play more of if he played any stand-up, like real stand-up linebacker, he would probably be a Sam. Do what Taki did.
Could he? I mean, in different packages, I think.
I think he could be a Sam, yeah.
Man, I want to do well.
Yeah, you can move him in, put him in different packages and let him figure out where he wants to be.
You trying to see that double dribble package? Double mug, Miles, Abdul in the middle, both dribbling. Or other one set the screen. All right, I'm gonna throw you. Like, you seen Abdul do the dribble before at Penn State, so
yeah, he got to work on it. But Miles will fix it.
Miles gonna get that right. Hey, Miles gonna get that spin move right for Abdul too, because he need to work on that. That'll be fixed.
Yeah, he has the tools. It just got to be refined a little bit. But next one is from Matt. What is your opinion on the NFL making the combine mandatory? Just seems like the top prospects just want to do their pro day because the combine will show flaws.
I mean, I think the combine has become such an event. I think that's the driving force behind making it mandatory. If that's something that they want to do, I think they just want people there. They want eyes on They want eyes watching the combine. They want people to go. They want more money being spent. And if the top prospects aren't going, it's not going to happen as much because people are just be like, oh well, so and so isn't doing it, so I don't want to go. So and so isn't doing it, so I want to go. I think it's all just like a business and revenue thing. That's all I think it is.
Also, I think part of the support is there are some players choosing not to do drills that have no business choosing not to do drills.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, like people got up in arms about Sanders not throwing, and I'm like, it's not a big deal. But when Cam says he's not throwing, I don't hear anything. I'm like, most of these guys, they don't have to participate in drills if they don't want to. If their draft stock is high, what's the point of trying to boost it even more? I'm like, if you're already allowed to be a top 10 pick,
that's my thing. Is that there are some guys who, like Abdul Carter, probably doesn't have to do drills. Mason Graham doesn't have to do drills, right? Travis Hunter doesn't have to do drills. There are some guys with some shit to lose and gain from doing these drills that ain't doing it though. Like there are like 4th round picks that are like, nah, I ain't gonna do the drills. And that's where I'm like, I bet that's pissing off like scouts. Cause like you can't get a time on the guy. It's fucking 4th round pick. Like, how do you work with that? I think that's part of it too. But also, they want to sell the shit on TV, like Colb said. They gotta get the names to play. Maybe they gotta change up and make it less physically demanding, I guess. I don't know. How can you make the combine less physically demanding?
Probably just, I don't know, shorten the drills. Like, I don't know. I have no idea.
No, you can't really. It's just like, it's just drills.
Yeah, pretty much. But another one from Ray Rags. Go ask Mike Tomlin if he thinks his strategy of just roll away from Myles Garrett would work if we had Carter.
Oof. Aaron Rodgers gonna be pissed.
Listen, if Mike Tomlin was our head coach, I guarantee you we'd be drafting Abdul Carter. He said, "You get me him and Myles Garrett, we ain't gotta worry about shit. We gonna get 10 wins. Let me tell you."
Yeah, that's right on. Let's point on.
Like, we gonna get 10 wins. We gotta worry about shit.
Yep. He will do it gladly.
Zero hesitation. We are taking Abdul Carter.
You know how crazy it would be to have 2 of the better edges in football, and one of those dudes is Myles Garrett. We are being blessed in this position as Browns fans, and we just like, nah. I want to get cursed. Let's go draft a bad quarterback. And then every time I say maybe we should have do that, they're like, that's why we stink. No, drafted some shit like Cam Warner too. That's why we suck, bro. Like, that's the shit that makes us suck. Anyways, I digress.
All right, this last one is from Ray Rags.
For the love of God, don't trade that number 2 pick to the Atlanta Falcons again. Give them Abdul Carter.
All right, this one, Ray Rags. Historically, the guards have massively won trades. That's literally how they keep being competitive. Okay, cool. All right.
Damn, Curtis, you a hater for the Guardians, dog. I hate this.
Man, I'm just tired of them. Nah, man, if you gonna do all this winning, at least give me hope and not just gas it up and make me feel like we doing something.
It's a new era in the Guardians right now, ain't it? Like, it's a new core from the 2016 that came 1 game shy of winning a World Series, Curtis.
Not moved.
Not moved.
It was cool. It was a fun little ride. I enjoyed watching the games, but
man, didn't know my homie was a hater like that on the Guardians, man.
You can blame my dad for that, but I digress.
I'm like, at this point, you should just root for a different team, dog. Like, they don't seem like they bring you no joy.
It's not that they don't bring me no joy. It's like I've seen this movie before, and I'm like, I will not get fooled by it.
Hey, look, it can happen. It's baseball. Anything can happen. That's the beauty of it.
All right, last one from Caleb. He just stuck in $2 like we ain't see it. Can't wait to have two edges better than TJ Watt.
Hey man, that's $2 we ain't had before. That's a lot.
You gotta be grateful, man.
Curtis so ungrateful.
Damn, man.
What you mean?
You
He stuck in $2.
$2, damn.
Yeah, man. Shout out-
We
shout out
appreciate
Caleb.
your $2.
Shout out
Yeah.
Caleb and Soul Train and
Hey,
Domo. And Domo.
Yeah.
Wait, where's Domo go?
Yeah.
Of course, Domo. Why not? Domo.
Clap it up for Domo. Clap it up for Domo. Let's clap it up.
Domo, man. You know we love Domo on here.
Milroe breakdowns versus LSU and Georgia.
Oh, Domo, you're gonna want to stay tuned, brother, because I am looking at that game, both Georgia games. So 2024 Georgia, 2023 SEC championship, LSU this year, South Carolina, Vanderbilt. There's another game. Is it Tennessee? Tennessee. We're gonna get a thorough look at Jalen Milroe by the end of the week on the channel.
Hey man, you might need to throw me on for the Milroe breakdowns. I am pushing the agenda.
Are you on the Milroe? You on the Milroe agenda? You team Milroe?
I'm Team Milroe. Shout out,
We'll go Milroe.
shout out Domo and Jared Mueller.
All right, Cole. That is top 5 best heel turns in Browns history. Like,
Yeah, because I was not there. I was not there.
They got you there. You was mad at me, actively mad at me. He told me to shut the fuck up in person about Jalen Milroe.
Facts.
I was trying to sell a division. He ain't want to hear. You and Rail. I see Rail talk about Jalen Milroe too. That's crazy. That's crazy. When I was trying to sell y'all this shit, though, y'all was looking at me like I was crazy.
We ain't see the vision yet.
You know what I mean? I just be trying to tell y'all shit, you know? Hey, look, I've been selling the Travis Hunter vision to myself, and I'm like, damn, man, like I almost want to do it. Like, if Abdul Carter wasn't there stopping me, I'd be like, dog, I think this could really work. Like, and the Aiyuk trade in the peripheral makes me feel like, all right, man, you don't need that. That's it?
Yeah, we good.
I don't know. I gotta double check. Curtis B.
I know. I
think $2 a night. You know?
Yeah, man. But we gotta make sure we get to everybody with Curtis over here. Like, damn, bro.
Yeah. I checked. We're good.
Shout out everybody that super chatted. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Domo. Shout out Caleb. Shout out Soul Train. Shout out Big Ray Rags. You know what I'm saying? Matt Miller.
Ray Bags. What you mean, Ray Rags? Ray Bags.
Ray Bags. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Rex Fortune.
Ray Bands.
Ray Bands. Iceman the Boss. Ackline. Make sure I ain't miss nobody. I don't think I missed nobody. I think we got everybody.
Shout out Iceman, man. Iceman be out there.
Yeah, Iceman's hilarious. Ice cream cone body is the funniest shit ever.
It took me a while to realize it because I remember. I think you.
Damn boy, they say.
I think he posted his RAS scores on Twitter. I'm like, man, they're not. I'm like, damn, that's not great. It's not great, but.
When he sat down, I thought that image of that episode of SpongeBob with Patrick in the Olympics and he in the ice cream. Now that's how I look at Deion Walker, man. Y'all done did that one. Okay.
Oh, just throwing something out there. Shout out my guy Mac Robinson. Always.
Oh, yeah, big shout out Mac.
92.3 the fans own Mac Robinson. You know what I'm saying?
Mac Robinson.
The Mac Robinson. God damn it. You know what the fuck
Mac Robinson.
Return to Mac. Anyway, he said Albert Breer just said he thinks the Browns trade for Kirk Cousins, and Albert's been on that forever.
Mm-hmm.
For as long as me. And he also said that they will take Abdul Carter.
So basically what we've been saying the whole offseason.
We will see.
We done been through hell saying the same shit all off season. Like,
Hey, they said I was on fraud watch because of Kirk. They said I was on fraud watch. That's crazy.
it is so funny too, because like, look, this podcast has gotten the quarterback room right the last 2 years. Like, we were the ones like, yeah, they gonna go after Jameis, right? Like, we told y'all about Jacoby Brissett over Jimmy Garoppolo. We was like, yeah, that's happening. Okay, like what?
Man, we just be talking though. We just be talking.
Mm-hmm. We got an offer with Kevin Walt, man, like, or at least what Andrew be signing for Kevin.
Like, hey, we'll see what happens. But that is what Albert Beard just said. Just so everybody knows.
And yeah, Jalen Milroe to the Browns just feels like it's starting to get into that inevitable category. It's just a question of when does it happen.
Listen, can I say something else that I heard? I heard, cannot confirm, but I heard they've been on the Milroe thing for a while, man. I heard they've been on the Milroe thing for a while. I've also heard some things about Jackson Dart, but I don't feel comfortable talking about that.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. Look, if Tommy Rees got good shit to say about Jalen Milroe, I mean, that just basically kind of tells you like where we're going here. Doesn't always happen though, right? But if that's where things are going, that's where things are going. We'll see what happens. Shout out to all of our steel toe gang, our animators, our phone testers. Are we shouting out phone testers?
I didn't know that was the thing.
Somebody got to test your phone before they sell it.
I guess. Yeah. Shout
out to all the guys out there using Slack, all the guys and gals out there using Slack on a daily basis, hearing that shit all day.
Yeah, I hear it all day.
I bet you hear that shit in your sleep.
Especially during March Madness. Yeah, I be glued to the phone. I
know what the call for a Slack, like when somebody does the whatever it's called, like a hangout or whatever it is. What that sounds like? Because every time I hear that, my girl working at my apartment, I hear that shit. And I can hear, oh my god! I'm like, oh, shit.
Don't put your girl out there, man. Don't put her business out there like that.
I don't say her name on the pod. They can't track it down. But all I know is that she'll ever be happy when they be having the call.
Who else we got to shout out? Damn, we been doing this 3.5 hours. Shout out the anime gang always.
Shout out truckers.
Shout out
railroad workers of America.
Don't that fall in the steel toe?
It has to.
Some of them are steel toe, right? Somebody like, do you wear a steel toe if you driving the train?
I don't know. Probably not. I would think that. I would think not, but maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if it's just a culture thing where you just get a steel toe. You know, it's not even really functional. You know what I mean? It's just get the fit right.
Yeah, it might be. It might be.
You can't show up to the site like, you know, looking like irregular. You know.
Shout out all service workers, by the way, all service workers.
Oh yeah.
Shout out Game Informer. They making a comeback. I'm glad.
Game Informer back?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need that. Game Informer is important.
I used to steal the demo CDs out the Game Informer for the Walgreens.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah, because we ain't have money to get new games, so we just steal the demos from Walgreens.
You know what? Shout out to all the video game companies that make sure you get the demos for free.
Yeah,
you know man. Shout out to y'all.
Dog, you know how geeked I was when PlayStation 3 came out? You could download the demos.
Yes, bro.
Like, what?
I need to start doing that.
Like,
I need to start doing that more, by the way. I need to start downloading demos before I just buy games. So I know I actually like the game.
Demos now. They really drop demos.
Yeah, they used to. PS3 was the golden age of demos, man. They drop a demo for 80. They dropped the demo for fucking 2K.
Yeah, they did.
And look, I played that shit like it was the game. Okay.
What else? Shout out to all the people who weren't being weird about the new Assassin's Creed. Shout out to y'all.
I'm going to get it on Friday.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get it too.
I already got the new Bleach fighting game that came out. So.
Oh, is it good, Curtis?
It's good. It's progress. There's no ranked for people who play online. I don't think it's a big deal. It's a step in the right direction because I know people hate anime fighting games. So it's good. It's quality. I messed with it.
You know what? I since I started rewatching Naruto, I downloaded Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 to replay it. And I was like, man, this is good. This is really good. This is really good. Get your hand off the thing, Q. We not talking about anime the whole time. We just talk about games. We talk about games. I was like, we just talk about games. Shout out to the gamers.
Way into Naruto, I'm like, you fucking with me right now, okay? Well, no reason for you to segue into no Naruto. Like,
come on, bro. We talking about the game. Shout out to the gamers. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the gamers. Like Soul Train said, when the new Persona comes out, I'm 100% getting that.
Aren't they all like 5 still?
Yeah, they're still on 5. We're waiting for 6, but I think they're gonna remake 4, and then we'll get 6.
I might replay Dead Space.
Grand Theft Auto ass strategy. Like, let's remake 3 games and drop a new one. Like, we still wait on that goddamn Grand Theft Auto 6. Like,
yeah, we ain't getting that till next year, but I will be there.
You know how long we've been waiting? I got Grand Theft Auto 3 my freshman year in college.
Grand Theft Auto 3?
Grand Theft Auto 5 my freshman year in college. My bad.
I was about to say, I was like, damn.
I got that shit. I remember it was my first semester. My PS4 ain't even fucking came out yet. That's when GTA 5 came out.
Yeah,
we got it day one, freshman year of college. Played the shit out of it. And it's the same goddamn Grand Theft Auto we've been on for 12 years.
Yeah, we need 6. You know what we need remade?
Was born when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, and now they in fucking 6th grade.
Like, you know what we need remade? All the old Pokemon games. We need all of the old ones.
We need more Pokemon remakes, man.
We need all the old ones remade.
For the PlayStation people, we need them to bring back Resistance, Fall of Man, and Killzone. Those shooter games were fun.
We don't need that, Curtis, because look, I played them shits, and those were cult first-person shooters where you just liked them because you wanted to compete with Halo.
No, they were fine. I like Killzone. I played Resistance. I didn't finish.
Okay, but did you ever play their multiplayer?
I played it like a couple times.
I was look, Curtis. I'm telling you right now. I was on the front lines, PS3, Xbox Wars, more than you could ever know. And I was out there hyping up Killzone 3. Spent all my allowance money on Killzone 3. I played that bitch online twice.
Could have been that bad.
It wasn't bad. It was cool. The story mode was great. It was just like, they don't need to remake it.
Listen, PlayStation absolutely won the PlayStation Xbox Wars, by the way. Like they absolutely
now.
Absolutely.
When I was down there fighting that war for PlayStation, it was back when they were losing it against the 360. 360 had all the first-person shooters. That's when Resistance came out, Killzone. We was like, oh, we got first-person shooters too. It wasn't like that shit they had on 360.
It's cool. We won. We won. We won the war. That's all that matters.
That's all. Now I own both, and I don't ever play my fucking Xbox.
Why would you? What's over there that you need to play?
like usually, if you can get a game for free because you got Game Pass, it's the only reason to play it.
I feel attacked because I own a Series X. I feel attacked right now.
Curtis, you want 2? You want 2 Series X's?
I got 1. I got a Series X. That's all. But people keep telling me, "Hey, man, you got to get on Team PlayStation, man. Get a PlayStation."
Curtis, I'll give you my Series X so you could finally have somebody else to play with online.
I got people to play with online. What are you talking
about? Because nobody else has a Series X.
Yeah, everybody got a PS5, dog. It is what it is.
Yeah, it is. I bought both. I was all excited about the Series X because it came out first, or at least I can get my hands on it first. But once I got the PS5, it was a wrap.
I waited till I get my PS5, and then I got a Switch because I like the Nintendo games.
I got the Switch too. The Switch Lite. Switch got good games.
Yeah, Switch does have good games. It really does.
Yeah, like if you travel a lot, you need to get a Switch. Like if you at the airport a lot, they make perfect games for being at the airport.
I got that Fire Emblem 3 Houses. I probably played that like 8 different times.
Imagine if we had that shit when we was kids.
No,
those kind of experiences.
I couldn't imagine it, actually. I really couldn't.
I was out there playing Game Boy, Game Boy Advance.
We had the PSPs and the DSs. No.
We did. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't have that extra joystick, but it was cool. You know what I mean? Is the PSP was limitation up with crimes on PlayStation Portables?
You was committing crimes with the PSP?
Oh, I had that Pandora's battery. I used to sell the Pandora's battery to people. I used to make money off that. I'm like, yeah, I'll hook up your PSP. I was the guy, okay, in my local area that you went to see if you wanted to figure out how to get some games on your PlayStation Portable, you know? Hit you with that Pandora's battery. $35 a pop. Like,
35 a pop, damn.
Yeah. Flash it with that custom firmware. And like, it was back before everybody knew how to do that kind of shit or look it up on YouTube. So like, people thought you was an actual computer genius. I ain't know shit about computers. Just follow the tutorial I found online on GameFAQs. But yeah, me and my homeboy Elijah, we used to post up in the library, set up shop, and make some bread. It was a good time.
PSP was so ahead of its time, bro. So ahead of its time.
Had music, movies.
Hey, don't let you find a good Wi-Fi connection.
Oh yeah, I had all the Will Ferrell movies on that shit.
Oh, you talking about Will Ferrell movies? Nah, I was.
Hey. What did you have on your PlayStation Portable, Cole?
Nothing we need to talk about.
End the pod.
End the pod. This is a great place to end the pod.
I know you can look that up on PlayStation Portable.
Man.